All right, so we are here. I am safety first yo here with Sensra. We are going to be casting this BLC tournament number 2, round 2. We have the All-Ins versus HanSoloMid. In game 1, HanSoloMid will be starting on purple side, and TeamAllIn will be on blue side. As it stands in Champ Select right now, TeamAllIn has banned Pantheon, Vi, and Karma. Some pretty directed bans. 2 at the jungler Bjornevicton, and the Karma at the mid laner of ranked tank on HanSoloMid. And for HanSoloMid, we have the bans of LeBlanc, Syndra, and Kalista. Kalista being targeted towards the AD carry Hobby Bunny, and LeBlanc and Syndra both targeted towards DeHaze, 2 of his favorite champions he likes to play in the mid lane. And we come through with the first picks. We have Graves as AD carry for Hobby Bunny. We have Lysandra for Mudman. Agent Church is taking Sona, no surprise there. Save support that can heal, typical. For HanSoloMid, we have Rank Tank taking Ahri, which is it's a little bit of a surprise. Not many people have seen him play it. And then the J4 being locked in for Bjornevicton, and one of his favorite junglers. The Merc playing as Leona, very strong support, CC oriented, very tanky, go balls deep and no regrets. And then the number 1 Nick locking in that Cyan, what we were thinking he was going to do.
This would be a good moment for me to ask a little question. Cyan's ult will collide with the J4 terrain, will it not?
The Cyan ult will collide with the J4 terrain. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, so hopefully we won't see any missteps there. That could be a little messy. Otherwise, it looks like HanSoloMid is just setting up with all the CC. Oh, Hayes taking Talon, AD Assassin. Makes sense going with the AP top laner. They're going to be a little AD heavy, but that'll probably be good for pushing down objectives. And it looks like they're just really wanting to pick off probably the mid laner, probably rank tank. I feel like those targeted bans were just to support the idea of we're going to get our mid laner fed, we're going to have them carry us, and the rest of us are going to lock down the enemy.
See, the Talon pick here is simply because Talon is very good because his jump dodges all of Ahri's abilities. That's why it's a counter to Ahri, and it's not necessarily because he's looking to push towers or to split push or whatever, or to be an assassin, but just simply because of the lane counter. And it's something that's being brought up very popular. We also see Lee Sin being locked in for Griffsor. That's a very common pick, and Old Beardly with the Corki, very strong player right now.
Some fast buys coming out here. I'd like to point out that both top laners took teleport, so we'll keep an eye to see if they use that mostly to get back to lane for farming, or if they have enough map awareness that they'll try and provide pressure for objectives like Dragon and such.
Here's some pretty typical buys here for level 1. Talon starting Flask, typical. Both junglers starting with, the Hunter's Machete, typical. All the Dorans coming out for everyone, but the Doran shield is a little bit... Oh, and the Sona starting with a pink ward and a pot, but not actually an item. That's probably his ADC coaching him here, but we'll see.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
We don't see really much shenanigans starting out at level 1. It's got some basic dancing around in river, watching, seeing where everyone's going. We won't really expect a lane swap in this tournament, mostly because it's not very common and it's really hard to play.
It looks like Sona is selling back her items, probably being told to pick up some gold gen. I would honestly bet they plan on a very passive lane, the Leona Corki is going to punish any mistake they see. If Leona knows when to land those Zenith Blades, when to follow through, they're probably going to go for the picks on Sona because she doesn't have the mobility. That's one of the main weaknesses of that champ. However, we can watch and see the early game because Leona's main weakness is getting constantly harassed, especially when she's only level 1. The level 2 and 3 is when she gets a lot stronger and she can survive that in lane, but she could easily be bullied down early, and that would provide a lot of safety for bot lane.
Yeah, we see that it took Sona a long time, and she still hasn't even left Fountain. It's currently a 1v2 in the bot lane, and I don't know if they're gonna try and push that advantage and get the level 2 early so that they can bully Hop Bunny out of lane, because that would be one way to start. We had a really good advantage, but it seems as though they're playing so passive, even though it's a 2v1. They should be pushing this advantage, especially knowing that Sona's not there, not seeing her for so long. She can't just be sitting in the bush that long, and they haven't checked it either.
Yeah, we're watching the constant Cyan harass come down. Obviously, Lissandra does have some range. She is a mage, and she has quite a bit of safety. But Cyan is a lane bully, and we're watching Nick take advantage of that.
I think that the Lissandra is a good pick into it, just simply because of her passive. Being able to constantly harass back for not enough mana. We got an early gank mid, and we see that everything misses, all because of that jump E. That's exactly why I took that champion. It's a very safe way to avoid ganks when they're bot lane aggression here. The Muck going really low, the counter. You might see first blood coming in here, and the heal saves his life for now.
For heal. Let's see if Hop takes this opportunity to just farm up, or if he's going to go hard.
The charm lands, so ability's coming in. The ignite early though. I don't know if that's not gonna get him. He's gonna live. Some early aggression by DeHaze, and is a very even trade.
Yeah, you'll notice Rank Tank didn't burn any summoners.
Urnavectin's coming back in for the gank.
Hayes sensing something's up. He's not backing off per se, but he's definitely not pushing. He's trying to play a little safer. Griftsor coming in the lane with the Lee Sin, trying to make some plays on the Rank Tank, trying to get off that early Lee Sin.
And forces the flash. And then again, Hayes is that a flash down for? Nope, just an.
It looks like both mids and both junglers were looking to make some plays, but neither group willing to risk their summoners, preferring to hold on to them for later engagements.
I think we're gonna see a lot of focus on the mid lane in this game, just simply because both DeHaze and Rank Tank can both carry a game from the mid lane. Especially on Talon and Ahri. I think that both junglers are going to expect their bot lanes to hold their own and just focus on the mid lane and maybe a little bit of the top lane. I think that the stronger players are in the mid, and that's exactly where they're going to focus and try and sway the game in that direction.
Definitely. Dragon popping up. We're looking at the map, and you can tell that there's very little vision down. Obviously, most people are using just their default trinkets. You'll notice that despite taking that early ward, Leona hasn't been using it, probably because they've been pushed back this whole time. They don't suspect a jungler gank, but it'll be interesting to see if that comes back to bite them, especially since Hoppy Bunny is probably going to back off, play a little safer, let them push up, and see if he can get another pick again.
It's really nice to see that the farm in almost every lane is even except for in top lane. Nick is out farming, Mudman on his Lissandra, and that's something that's different.
3-man fight coming down 3v2 in bot lane.
Some aggression in mid lane, and the first blood goes over to Rank Tank on a solo kill.
Hoppy Bunny narrowly escaping with just a little bit of life. Looks like Barn is going to try and pick up something with a swag flag maybe. Throws down some vision, but he can't clear it up. They're gonna go back and just pressure the lane. It looks like he's pinging Dragon. Makes sense. They took mid, they took bot. Now's the perfect time to go for the objective.
In the mid lane. Too bad we don't have instant replay here. But that was a very great play on Ranktank's part. He waited to use the charm until DeHaze used his engage. As soon as he used his engage, the charm was basically free because he's right there and he's right behind her. He landed it, made it so DeHaze had to take a tower shot, and then the ignite was enough to finish him off as he got away.
We're starting to see quite a few champs hitting 6. This is going to be huge, especially with the Leona, Sion, the Ahri. There are a lot of champs that are going to hit strong power spikes right around this level. It doesn't look like anyone plans on grouping up soon. Most people preferring to farm up, continue laning. But that could come back to bite the blue team, especially since they just lost a dragon. They do have a few pink wards up. Some safety pink wards. It looks like Hoppy Bunny picked up a pink for the Tribush, and the mid laner sensing the...
Can't hide behind lackeys. Of the dying.
User in your channel timed out.
Alright, we're having some technical difficulties here, but we'll be back in the shoutcasting in just a moment.
User joined your channel.
Figured. I can hear it through the computer too. Okay, it picks up like static.
Still having some technical difficulties. We're working on it. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We had a little bit of an issue there, but we are back in the game, and it seems as though Team HanSoloMid is taking up an advantage. It is 5-3. We have missed a kill in the mid lane. Victon on J4 getting a lot of kills. He's 2-0-1. He's kind of trapped there with and he goes down, gets trapped in his own ulti.
Timed out. User entered your channel.
We also have, so it's now 4-5.
It looks like Ancient Church was picked off a little bit at some point, and mid lane Talon actually taking quite a bit of damage. It looks like we're having a little bit of Dragon hustle. Blue team takes Dragon Grip, so we're trying to get out.
Rank tag going way deep, gets the double kill.
One man trying to flash away after a TP engage. It looks like he might get picked off. The Haze picking off Rank Tank, trying to save Griffsor, successfully manages to get both of them out alive. And it looks like Nick is going to go hard on top tower, try to make this worthwhile.
Yeah, the kill credit actually went over to Lee Sin and Griffsor, so that helps Rank Tank's cause even more. Now being 4-2, and Talon only having 1 kill. Helps out his lane just a lot more.
That's true. Lee Sin having a lot of potential, especially for Lee. He's obviously been trying to make some plays, and blue team being able to pick up the dragon, but losing 2 turrets in the process, and giving up 1 for 1, I believe the kill trade was?
2 for 1.
Corky doesn't quite have his Triforce yet. He's really close to picking it up, but not quite there. So we're not seeing that power spike. you will notice that there is a huge differential in farm now in some of the lanes. Top lane, Scion dominating by about 40 creep. The mid lane, difference of about 30. Not too much. Agent Church missing the ulti, still looking to go hard, taking some minion aggro, barely dodging the Zenith Blade, and Hobby Bunny urging him to get out so they can just kind of farm up and play safe. They still have tower, so Hobby Bunny can afford to continue to out-farm Corki. He's up by about 30 creep, so it looks like the lanes are actually about even in terms of farm differential. The Scion kind of being the deciding factor, but he's obviously building very tanky right now. Not going to bring a whole lot of damage to the table, but he will bring some CC and very large distraction.
The Hay is coming down for a gank, but gets caught off. But his ulti picks up a kill on the way out.
Hobby Bunny.
But Ranktape coming in, gets the kill on Hobby Bunny. Still going hard. Griffsor is gonna go down here. Who's the kill gonna go to? It's gonna go over to Old Beardly on Corgi, helping out his cause a little bit more. 2-1. This rank tank is making a use of this Ahri pick, and I don't think anyone's ready for it. This is still on patch 2.5 or 5.2, and this is where Ahri is still really strong. Her nerfs haven't kicked in yet.
Yeah, you'll notice Corki picked up the shutdown gold, which should be enough for him to back and go ahead and finish his Triforce. They're going to finish off their bot tower. They have a ton of map pressure right now. They haven't lost a single turret, and they've taken all of the frontline turrets from blue team. So it looks like they're going to probably back, spend their gold, get some more vision down. Speaking of vision, if you have any questions or comments about ideal ward placement or ward uses in your matches, remember to tweet us at hashtag VisionLord2015. We'll be here all night.
Oh my God, Central. Really? I didn't think you'd have to bring that one up. Either way, I don't know. You mentioned that Corki is really close to his Triforce. I wonder how close he was after his last back, or before he last back, because he had all 3 items. He only needs 78 gold. If he's close enough, he could have just waited, or even sold the pot that was in his inventory to get that Triforce. Could have helped him a lot more in that last team fight, or even could have avoided it and just gotten a solo kill or gotten a kill in lane. But I don't know. I don't know how close he was. It was puzzling me why he didn't just wait, because it's only 78 gold difference between having all 3 items and having Triforce.
We saw DeHaze fighting a little bit, trying to protect his pink ward. It has been there for, I think, about 15 minutes now. That was one of his first buys. Scion backed off, and it doesn't look like they're swinging back to pick up the pink ward. His team might not have noticed it. Instead, everyone's kind of grouping, trying to defend their mid turrets. They've lost a lot of lane pressure. Griffsor getting picked off by the J4, kicks out, and dashes away to Hobby Bunny, trying to escape. They've lost their jungle pressure, they don't have the defenses, and the red team is just picking up.
The ulti comes down on rank tape, but he's got his ulti to kite back. Scion ults come in, and Ahri's still staying alive. Bjornvikton going a little low, but so is Hobby Bunny. Corki coming in, picks up the kill on Graves. The whole time, Scion gets the kill on Scion, goes 2 for 1. They're still going in though. Mudman's going very low. Corki comes in with the dash, the Triforce proc, gets the kill, gets himself a unofficial double.
Yeah, it looks like they have enough pressure to maybe try and take this turret, but they're scared off by the Lee Sin, who has a little bit of early wave clear. They're trying to group up for Dragon, which is up in 20. They're probably going to try and cement their vision. They have a solid pink ward placement. Obviously, their pink ward is going to protect them as they try and take this dragon, it being a key feature in their victory.
Yeah, this up at 5. The fifth dragon now adds such a huge bonus to teams, and it's just so worth stacking. And if you can prevent a team from getting even 1 dragon, and you getting more buffs, it just puts you more ahead. But as soon as the one that really matters is that very first one, where it gives you that 6% ability power or an AD that just gives you that damage boost. And I really like to see the Team HanSoloMid here, moving up their wards. It's kind of just a long river. Yeah, river is good, but if you move it up into the enemy jungle, now that the towers are gone, you can control more of the map and create more picks for yourself. And I'm not seeing any of it. It's just kind of along that line on the bottom side, Dragon side, and it's just along the river. Yes, that's good for Dragon control, but still they need to move that ward line up so they can create picks and continue pushing their lead.
Definitely very true. Both teams trying to pick up a little bit of scuttle. Obviously, that is a huge, crucial piece of vision because you can't shut it down, you can't sweeper it, you can't block it. It is solid river vision. So both teams picked up one of the scuttles. It looks like red team's going for bot side control after their dragon. Blue team actually has a lot of vision around Baron. I don't think they're going to try taking it because they're behind. But they want to make sure that the red team doesn't capitalize on their weakness.
Now that being said, Scuttle, the thing about Scuttle is yes, they may know. Oh, Sion getting picked out here. He's really tanky. Should be able to just walk this one out with his team backing up there. But what I was saying about Scuttle is that yes, it is solid vision and no one can sleep it, but the enemy knows it's there, so it's a space that can be easily avoided. Where regular Trinket Ward, yeah, it can be swept, but it's not always known to be there. Griffsword getting caught out, kicks J4 back out of his ulti, forces the flash, goes insanely low, but his whole team is there for disengage. Two people getting blown up here. Corky taking kill credit for the double because of the zone. We're getting another one. J4 gets a double coming back in. Almost an ace. Lee Sin, the only one getting out of his life after being the original one to start that fight in the J4 blowing his ulti, getting the engage. Typical in this past this low or once you get into this lower ELO, once you get to this team fight stage, if you just pick out one person, doesn't matter how behind the finish are, the team instantly goes to be like, oh, I'll save you, and it instantly starts team fight. Doesn't matter how far ahead or behind it is. You can't just let that one person die and defend. They're not willing to. They want to fight. They want to get back in this game. 7-18, the gold lead, 10K. I do not think that. I have a feeling that HanSoloMid is going to take this one home. All they have to do is work on it, don't throw, close the game strong, stay consistent. It looks as though they're going to do so.
Yeah. Corky, obviously having just hit his power spike, it was hugely obvious, throwing out tons of damage during that last fight. If we had a replay, I would definitely want to go back though, because as a support player, I know that the right CC, crowd control placement, can change entire games. And in that team fight, we saw Leona ult landing dead onto Graves before he could dash. Follow through.
The charm lands on an Agent Church. Ari comes all in. Almost gets him going really low, but instead he's going to give his life because Talon and Hobby Bunny burst him down.
Looks like they're definitely going to try and just pick off some kills, save up some money, try to survive the super minions. They just want to get back in this game, and we'll see if they get any more windows.
That's exactly the throw that I was talking about. Trinity going a little deep here, but turns and ults onto Hayes, puts him really low and almost takes him out of the game. That is exactly the throw that I was talking about though. Like, they need to,
I don't know what Lee Sin was doing.
He's trying to create a pick, I think, and old Beardly walked straight into it and almost got bursted, but Corky's really strong right now. He's got the workings of an Infinity Edge. He's got all the pieces to it. All he has to do goes back and finish it. He's got his Triforce. He's 7-1. He is insanely strong. Lee Sin, I don't know what you're doing. You just have a Last Whisper in your jungle. You are not tanky at all. Corky is going to blow you up. Can't go for a solo pick like that unless you're, say, Ari or Talon, who can blow someone up in a second. Especially not a Corky who can turn and just Q ult you, and he's gonna blow you up. Phosphorus bomb and Phosphorus bomb and his rocket ulti is gonna do so much damage.
Yeah, DeHay's getting picked off in that last fight, but he just barely flashed out. It looks like he's trying to get the pick potentials, but he's been playing surprisingly safely now that he's behind, he's taking those risks, but he always has just enough resources to escape by the skin of his teeth. The next dragon is live in about 30 seconds. They really, really need to stop HanSoloMid from picking that up. They're trying to clear out some wards, push back into their own jungle, move forward some sort of vision line. Obviously, vision being the key to a decisive victory.
Vision is the key to a decisive victory, especially in this situation where the game, yes, is in the favor of one team, but can be swayed. It's not completely out of control yet. They actually, they're no longer 10k behind, but rather closer to the 9, almost still 10, but it's still closer to the 9. They have a chance at working their way back into this game, create some picks, get some vision back in the game, and TeamAllIn could actually come back from this. That really misses the pink ward. Grinavicton coming in, Cyan picking up the kill with his shell. Already going balls deep, gets exploded with the Lissandra ulti. I don't know what he was thinking, dashing over the wall by himself without his team support. Cyan just flexing his muscles, being big. A perfect Leona ulti. All in. Lissandra's done. Cyan ulti to follow it up. Lee Sin flashes it and lets his Graves go down. TeamAllIn here for the pickup, or for the cleanup, but just gets exploded. Corki is so big right now. He stands at that Phosphorus Bomb ulti, and that Triforce proc is going to blow him up. The flash from Leona coming back in. They want this Lee Sin. Let's see if he can get him. Tries to, fails the ward hop there. Gets the Zenith Blade, locks him up. His whole team's coming in for backup. Corki jumps in. Misses the rocket, but gets the auto from the Trinity Force proc and takes him down. That Trinity Force is hurting, especially with the Affinity Edge with the crit on it. He's doing all sorts of damage. He's huge right now, 9-1. He's carrying this game like a beast.
Yeah, that Corki damage output doing exactly what they needed. Scion, full-fledged tank, Leona CC coming down. In fact, this kind of jungle fight, they wrecked. They had all the mobility they needed, they had all the lockdown they needed, and they just picked off members one by one. Obviously, Graves did get his ulti off early. They took that pick on rank tank. They were actually ahead at that point, and then it just fell apart with the Leona ult, the follow through from J4, and they just slowly withered and died. We're seeing Hoppy Bunny trying to get in a little bit of damage, trying to break that front line of turrets, but he just can't pull it off. The Haze, knowing something's going down at Baron, trying to desperately protect his ward, had made it 25 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. That is a 25-minute ward, and it dies. It'll be remembered.
Yeah, I think the next objective here for HanSoloMid is to take up vision control over Baron. Oh, Lee Sin walking straight into a pick. Whole team, I don't know what he's doing. He's got no ward coverage. Just walks straight into mid lane when he knows that they're pushing lane. That's a pick for him. They're gonna get this inhib. 4v5. They'll just push this down. I'm sure they'll turn their eyes straight to Baron right after this. Corki split pushing bot in the meantime. So all their damage is quite risky to fight without their huge damage dealer, but also Lee Sin is down, who has a lot of the damage on a TeamAllIn.
Age Surge landing the ult, but getting no follow through. It's blown up by the enemy, and now it looks like team fight's just gonna follow through. CC coming down. Pick off Talon, going down on Hoppy Bunny, shred him. Lissandra actually coming in, doing some solid CC, but it's
Griff's for the cleanup, gets the kick on the support nonetheless, but a triple kill picked up for rank tank.
Yeah, this is definitely the cleanup. I don't think they're gonna go for Baron, they're just gonna take the win, call it good, and move on. Start thinking about next game strategy. They don't want to give the enemy a chance to come back. They have enough damage to finish the inhib, even though the enemy is up in a few seconds, and doing it for the kills. We're gonna think things up Sona one last time.
Burns flash. Nexus goes down. HanSoloMid takes the victory home, and game 1 will be here for 2 more games right after a short break. Thank you for staying with us. Don't touch that browser. GG.
Make sure to tweet us, #VisionLord. Let us know what you thought the best ward of that game was. Anytime.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here for Game 2. We are in Champ Select. This time, Team All-In will be on the purple side, and Team HanSoloMid will be on the blue. Game 2, here we go. First ban is Kalista coming in for HanSoloMid, Vi for Team All-In, and then again the LeBlanc and Syndra for typical bans, same exact bans as the first game for HanSoloMid, and then for the Team All-In, instead of Karma, the band Ari, because Rank Tank was such a strong force in the last game on that champion, and it probably wasn't expected, and the Talon was not as good of a counter pick as thought to be. Taking a long time for the first pick here, probably debating on what to go. They're probably debating between that Karma. Typical pick, Rank Tank is his favorite champion in the mid lane. Very strong performance on it in the last tournament. Last tournament he got 2 back-to-back double kills on the same 2 players that are in this game, Grisor and DeHaze. Oh, but he switches to Xerath at the last second, long-range poke. Big admirer of that champion, especially when Bjergsen plays it in the LCS. Very popular champion, very strong, one of Rank Tank's very favorite, still a high priority pick. Going in on the other team, for Team All-In, they take away the J4 pick, which is one of Brunavictin's one of his higher end champs, and they already banned out Vi and Pantheon. Now take J4 is targeting him a lot. The Sona, which is so easy mode. Good heals for your team, for Agent Church, and keep his whole team alive. Spam the heals, very strong. Sign coming in for a Nick. Typical, exactly what he played last time. Strong laner, bully in the top lane. The last game, Drunken Bunny figured out that the hard way as Sion went into him. On Darius, kind of one lane. He's quite the bully. Even when bullies are even to bullies themselves, like Darius. Brunavictin not scared. Not scared at all of his being targeted. Just takes the pony. The Wreckerim himself. Hecarim very strong in this patch. He along with Chilling Smite and the buffs to his self-healing, his sustain in the jungle is much stronger, especially in the jungle where it's so ruthless early. You can basically only take half your jungle and then you have to back. If not, or unless you're on a very high sustain champion like Fiddlesticks or Warwick, who has natural sustain and lifesteal. Mudman taking the Heimerdinger, such a safe top laner. Getting the Lucian in, probably for Hobby Bunny again in the bot lane. One of his favorite champions that he used to play last split, and now he's not nearly as strong. He got some nerfs. He got some mana, some more mana use, or some higher cost on his mana, on his dash and his W. But overall, he's still a very strong champion. But old Beardly getting the chance to pick up that Graves, very strong. I hope to see him stick with the Corki. It's still very strong, and it's a very comfortable champion for him. But if he takes the Graves, it's still a strong pick. Bullies Lucian. They're pretty much the same champion, but Graves has AoE burst, where Lucian only has single target burst. It's a very different playstyle, but both very short range bursty champions. And the Leona coming in for the Muck again. Hopefully he can perform just as well he did before. Those Leona ultis, Zenith Blades, the stuns, the lockups, taking people down. And the counter pick coming in from DeHaze. Let's see what he's picking. Probably going to take a long time to wait for this one. Get the last pick. Get some strats going. Talk a little bit amongst his team. He's got 50 seconds to do so. We'll be here a while.
I'd put strong money on an AD mid laner. Obviously, they took the Heimer top. They might want a little bit more physical damage. But at the same time, a little bit of a mage wouldn't be a bad thing. Are there any silences left in the mid lane?
The Melzahar, exactly what he's hovering right now. It's very strong. It's not a typical pick for him. He can play it, but it's a very good lane bully. It's a save champion, but still, Xerath is a good pick against it because he can just stay out of the range and still poke damage. The Azir, one of Haze's favorites, long range poke, stay far away. Late game, he's a beast, but instead goes for the Zed. He'd rather get poked down in lane for a chance to all in the Xerath, which I can see it happening. The AD, like you called it, the mixed damage coming in though for their ADC, but still, that's the only AP on their team is Heimerdinger. If Heimerdinger doesn't get fed or isn't a Reckoning Force, HanSoloMid can just build straight armor, and Nick is going to be unkillable on that Scion. He's gonna build armor, and he is going to be untouched. He's gonna be so big, so strong. Same with the Muck. Graves gets armor from his passive. This team it's gonna be rough. Hecarim is probably gonna build straight damage because that's how Bjornavictin likes to play him, the one-shot pony instead of the never dying pony. But if you one-shot someone, you're not gonna die either.
That's true. I'm hoping to see some strong Zed plays. With good enough mechanics, he could dodge the Heck ult, or the Scion ult for that matter, or even the Leona ult. There's a lot of plays he can make to dodge those targeted high CC skill shots. Those are the things he needs to watch out for. It's the lockdown that really got them in the last game. They need to avoid it this game, especially Hobby Bunny. It's probably why he picked up the Lucian, looking for a little bit more mobility than last time.
Thing is, they have just as much CC as last game. Even though they don't have the hard CC of J4, they still have Hecarim, who's got that ulti and his E. He's be bouncing people all over the place. That Terrify, that E pushing people around. And Xerath still has a stun. It's the same kind of thing as a charm. It lasts almost at the exact same time. And gives you, instead of pulling you towards though, just locks you down and gets your team to be able to vaporize him. Which could be good, but the same thing, Zed, his ulti actually can't dodge Sion's ult because it places him so close behind that it'll knock him up still and cancels and stop Sion's ult.
Yeah, I was talking more about ulting onto another enemy champ to dodge the Sion ult. But that is a good point, that if he accidentally clicks on Sion, which is actually surprisingly likely, because Sion just taking up a large amount of the map, some misclicks do happen. Luckily for their team, Heimerdinger's just going to be a very safe pick. There's a lot of early wave clear coming out for the Heimer, the Lucian, even the Zed. All strong picks for the wave clear. They're looking to play safe even if they fall behind.
Sunder any arm.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And we're jumping into game here. We got some throwing the taunt dances, just spamming it. Oh, and the disrespect rank take, throwing out the Q, getting some damage down. Yeah, we're actually here in game, minute in, a little bit of a juke. And the all chat's coming through. Rude. Yeah, the BM is real. But hey, we're in this game, and just typical, just like last game, we're gonna stand here in river, scout each other out, look at who we are, maybe throw some taunt dances back, some BM, throwing that Q, and it's typical. We're gonna start Gromp and Krugs, just like normal.
Minions have spawned.
Xerath getting off some early auto pokes.
Typical Xerath using his passive, get that mana back. Throw a Q in, wave clear, get some autos, make sure he's got full mana. I think this is going to be a little bit slower start to this game with the lanes the way that they are, but I still think that it's going to be very similar. Very similar. The focus around the mid lane, just like before, but this time I think the Zed will be able to farm better when pushed under tower, even if behind, because Zed is just such a strong champion to farm on because he's so easy. He's got such a smooth auto attack animation.
Yeah, Nick trying to play against the Heimer. Heimer being a strong pusher in the top lane. We'll have to wait and see if Hecarim takes the opportunity to try and gank. Sion getting down some damage. Heimer not quite playing properly, sitting inside the Sion knockup, taking some harass. But it looks like Nick is not using the shouts to take out the turrets. And that could be a mistake in the long run.
I was about to ask you, the Sion's shout move Hecarim's. And it's quite the counter, actually. He picked into it knowing that Nick was going to take Sion.
Well, we do know that Mudman feels very, very comfortable on the Heimer. And it has a lot of safety. He's got the passive regen. He's got the turrets to protect him from ganks. A lot of poke. But the fact is...
The Hecarim ganking mid, but takes a tower shot and takes actually a lot of return damage.
Not quite worth it. Maybe a show of force, trying to instill some fear, get some lane pressure going, but not picking up anything. We take a second to look at the farm real quick. Heimer actually doing a lot better in farm this game. Mudman more comfortable on the Heimer, easy farm, easy push, but Sion's still ahead by a little bit. We look at the mid lane matchup, it's pretty close, but there is starting to be a difference. Xerath kind of ahead, easy wave clear, those Qs coming down. Bot lane, the Lucian, out farming Beardly actually.
By quite the margin, by 10. This early in the game, that's a lot. That's like a wave and a half.
Yeah, that's huge, especially since Themerk was trying to put down some early pressure. He knows how to play Leona, he's trying to be in the face, but instead just taking some poke. Hoppy Bunny easily picking up some minions. We're looking at Griffsource sitting down in bot lane, trying to make a play, but we'll see how much time he wastes down there. It looks like Hecarim's coming in with a counter gank. There's going to be a strong skirmish going on in bot lane any minute now.
Hecarim and Leona coming in hot. Actually, they're just kind of forcing it. Hecarim's coming in. They didn't know that the counter gank was coming, but J4's kind of out of position, but I think he's just going to walk out of this one. The E expired on the Hecarim. It got rooted by the Soraka silence just in time to stop him from being able to hit J4 back into his team. And probably securing the kill, but that silence, Agent Church, making plays here, keeping his team alive.
Yeah, definitely, and you'll notice the Soraka putting Hoppy Bunny right back up to full, and it looks like the ganks never even happened. The only difference is that Lucian's farm differential about the same actually. It looks like Graves might be catching up though because there's a wave logging towards him. But at the end of the day, both laners trying to just farm up, take the mistakes from the enemy team and make plays on them. Teamwork though not putting as much pressure as he should with the early Leona Zenith Blades. He's not dashing on a Hoppy Bunny. He's not even really making a show of force. He's kind of just sitting in the back, letting O'Beerley be the front line.
I think that's going to be fairly typical. Not that O'Beerley's going to be the front line, but I think they're going to play fairly passive and back and forth, and then seize the opportunity to go in. America isn't exactly the most experienced support, but he plays the Leona pretty fiercely and lands the skill shots when he needs to. I think he's waiting and looking for the right opportunity to go in, but he's also taking a lot of unneeded autos just from Hobby Bunny. He's just kind of working him in as he's farming, and I can see how that can be very annoying.
There's a Zenith Blade ending up on the dash, pulling the Merc all the way into the minion wave, takes the silence, walks away. I do agree that the Graves Leona was some hard damage coming down mid lane. Griffsor coming in for the gank, trying to pick off rank tank. Zed ult burned, Ignite burned, and Xerath trying to pick up the Griffsor. Xerath ulti
Gets the first blood and doesn't give up a death. He gets the flash heal, but also gives up the returning kill. That was very impressive. That he flashes away, needs the heal because of the ignite, but still gives himself enough space that he can use his ulti without Zed re-engaging and getting the kill. He was just under tower enough that DeHaze couldn't come back in because of the tower range. It was such a well-placed ulti and hit all three abilities, gets the kill, great first blood, get him rolling on that Xerath, that's what he needs, gets the lead.
And definitely rank tank actually staying in lane after that. He knows the jungler won't come back for pressure because he took the kill. But now he probably just finished the money he needs. The farm actually really close right now, all across the board except top lane again. Large difference there. Bot lane actually staying at 10. Hoppy Bunny not quite getting that huge differential, but it looks like he's got some free farm, so he should get ahead here. He backed and bought a BF sword, so both ADCs about at the same point for itemization. But Graves has hit 6, so we're looking at the Graves ult coming down. They're going to look to make plays. Dragon is probably going to look pretty juicy soon. Hopefully DeHaze will pick off rank tank, and that could mean a Dragon. Or if rank tank makes the plays on DeHaze, that also could mean a Dragon. It kind of comes down to first team to make a pick. Hecarim swinging around, camping mid.
I think what they're looking for here is trying to bait out the juiciness of rank tank and get the Haze to go in and get the Hecarim to just come in, ult, and pick up a kill. But I don't think they're going to successfully bait that. Reno Victin's going to go bot lane, look for another gank, especially when their Hobby Bunny and Agent Church are pushing up. But so far, mid lane's just pretty poke orientated. Xerath Q is against the ZW WQ, and I think they're just gonna it's gonna be really close. I think it's gonna be really hard for DeHaze to all in Xerath, especially with how safe he's playing and how much poke he's landing on him. Starting out at a trade at half health just isn't safe. Even if you can burst him, you're going to die in the process, and a 1-for-1 isn't worth when Xerath is already ahead. Just not worth it. Xerath getting more poke, getting more damage early.
Definitely. I'm surprised we haven't seen any ganks top lane. The pressure going down mid like normal, but there have been several occasions where either Scion or Heimer is
Griffsor coming in for the gank in mid. Fails the flag and drag.
Rank tank completely looking for some support from his teammates. walks away, has just enough mana for his stun.
They're gonna get pinched around Dragon though from bot lane and mid, but they're just gonna walk out clean. They're not gonna apply that pressure. They don't want to fight. They don't know where the Hecarim is. They're not gonna fight that. And Dragon is gonna go unattested. It's just gonna stay alive. But Bjornvik coming bot, maybe to look for a gank. There's a pink ward there, so you know he's not spotted. They know he's not there. J4 sticking around the jungle where both mid laners back, both walking back to lane. Both TPs up still in the top lane. Both of them have their TP available to TP down if a team fight is necessary. Don't know how responsive they'll be, but their team calls for it. They should be there on time.
One man and Sion fighting over that pink ward. He goes to play some vision. Sion shows some force and scares off Heimer again. He's got the vision to afford to push. Not too much other aggression coming down. Sion happy to just out-farm the Heimer. No ganks coming in. Both of them kind of just sitting in the middle, picking away at minions.
Graves is getting to that point where he's a little bit stronger than Lucian, especially when they both hit Infinity Edge. Even though Lucian's out farming him, which that means he should get his Infinity Edge sooner, Ringtake gets harassed down just trying to clear wave. I don't know what he was doing there. But Graves is still, his ability power scaling is so much stronger than Lucian. Well, not so much stronger than Lucian's, but a little bit stronger than Lucian's early. And Hecarim trying to sneak this dragon might be forced to pull off of it. J4 coming in. The smite battle's gonna happen. Bjornvik might have to ulti out. He's E-ghosted. Oh, and he goes down to Lucian getting a kill. And Zed also kills Xerath in the process with being distracted. This could end very bad. The Muck probably going to go down here. Forced to flash, gets out. It's going to be a 2-for-0. And TeamAllIn gets the dragon. This is turning in their favor. The ulti to save his life here. Grifsor getting a little greedy between towers, but has the right to do so since there's no one to really kill him.
Yeah, we'll have to watch and see. Zed trying to make a pick under tower, but he decides it's not worth the wait. Gonna head up mid, take some farm, and enjoy his kill from earlier on the Hecarim. It's 1-2 right now. That was actually a bit of a turnaround, and this is a much closer game than before. The farm differential still becoming pretty apparent, but both teams are actually pretty close in gold. 16.3 to 16.4. One dragon going to blue side, I believe, right?
Nope, red side got a TeamAllIn, secured the dragon after killing Bjornvik and Rankton. So the two carries from last game, other than Old Beardly, are already a little behind, but Rank Tank showing his strength in the mid lane, poking DeHaze down. Ooh, and Grifsor coming in. DeHaze is sticking around maybe to pick something up, but Bjornvik comes in with the counter gank, saving Rank Tank again even when exposed. Like I said, the mid lane is very, very focused in this game because the two there's a lot of carries and they just think their bot lane can win it. And right now bot lane is a little in the favor of TeamAllIn. And mid lane is pretty even right now. Xerath has a little bit of a lead in CS, but they both have a kill. And they're both farming just fine, and they're both applying great pressure. And they both have kill pressure in lane.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like this game is pretty much tied up. Junglers continue to try and make picks on mid lane. Despite the heavy lack of vision, teams do seem to have quite a bit of map awareness. There's a little bit of trinket coverage pretty much in lanes. And then there's one pink ward. Only one pink ward on the map, ladies and gentlemen. And that's for red side. And you know what that means? That means I am going to bank on red team as a victor. Because vision wins games. Let us know what your favorite ward of the match is. Tweet us at #VisionLord2015.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that doesn't matter because it's the It's the only ward on the entire map. But J4 looking here, gets a great ward, spotting him out. But I'm feeling the ulti is going to come in here. The Muck going down, uses an ulti, blows it, knowing he's going to go down. But a great lane gank, uses the ulti to secure it. Zed coming down. They're going to look for a 4-man dive on Graves. The flash flag and drag. He's going to go down. He's gonna go down to the Zed ulti. Spirit Victin doing everything he can, but being forced back. They're gonna get this. They're gonna secure this tower. Well executed dive. Another kill going over to the Haze. He's really safe on this Zed. He's 2-0-0. That's a good start for him. He's gonna be able to solo this Xerath any time now.
A bit of a top lane skirmish happening. Munman burning the ulti to try and scare off Sion. But we should point out that Heimer's picked up his death cap right away. No boots, so he can't actually run away if things get awful. But Sion built armor first, going straight for the Sunfire Cape. I guess it does a little bit of damage, a little bit of health. But I don't know why he didn't bother building magic resist. He's going to continue to take that Heimer harass. That could be a pain in the long run.
I think what he's going for is not necessarily for the fight in lane. He's staying in lane just fine, even though the gank is coming top. Maybe to pick him off. He should see him be able to ulti out, but I think what he's going for is, yep, he's being focused up here in the top lane. He might go down, but the thing is, he built armor, so he's pretty much unkillable to everybody else in the team, because everybody else in the team does that kind of damage. Forced to flash here. Heimer is the only real threat to Sion right now because he built armor. Everybody else does no damage to him. So I can see why he's building. He's building for the team and not necessarily for his laning phase, which can be a flaw or can be a downfall, but also can be a great bonus. Drag it up in 30 seconds. This is gonna be the next team fight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, going into this, we have an IE finished for Lucian. Graves down actually by 40 farm. Probably won't have his Infinity Edge by the time this fight pops up. So we could actually see Hobby Bunny taking advantage of that and blasting away Graves, maybe even out damaging him.
Most definitely out damaging him, that's for sure. But they're just gonna wait it out, wait the 5 seconds. Not even worry about. TeamAllIn was worried about Dragon Control, but J4 back. They can seize this moment. Heimer is still top, where Sion is still here. He just walked out. He didn't even have to burn his teleport. So they're just gonna clear out some vision. Maybe try to get a pick down in the bot lane, and let the ulti, the flash having to come through, save his life. Xerath just gonna return some poke or try to. Meanwhile, they're gonna let the Timer Dimmer take this top lane tower. But really, no fight for the dragon yet. Just kind of walking around, trying to get some vision around it.
Yeah, that may not be worth it in the long run. If Heimer can take this tower and get down to his team in time, this could turn out to be in the favor of Red Team, who already have the damage to afford to leave their top laner up top.
Yeah, it's looking pretty gruesome. There's only two. Sion ulti coming in. Agent Church is gonna get blown up. He's gonna go out really fast. Graves gets a kill, which is good. J4 and Zed both weren't available. A double kill going over to Graves, being the carry again. Hecarim having to get out, but they're chasing down Hobby Bunny. I don't know if he'll be able to get out. The stun comes through. Missed the buckshot. The Zenith Blade gets him, but he still dashes away. Oh, he misses all of his abilities. Let's see if Zed does not want to risk it. Stays in. Xerath's got a lot of cooldown at this point. With the Morellos, he can just continuously spam those abilities, and he wasn't low on mana at all. This is gonna be a free dragon for TeamAllIn, but Heimer pushing a second tier top, potentially be able to get this. The Zed ulti coming through. He'll get this kill. He does not get the kill. Xerath lives by the skin of his teeth, like 2 health, can't even see his health bar. That heal saved his life.
Yeah, that's just gotta be frustrating for Zed, trying to outduel him, and at the end of the day, those little margins of damage come down with runes and masteries. That could have actually been a huge power spike for Zed. He's already got his Bork. He's looking to pick up a little bit more armor pen. He's got the Tiamat. He's obviously building into Hydra, trying to get some wave clear coming down. These teams are actually going pretty even with the loss of the dragon, the loss of a few kills. This is a much closer match. I don't know if we'll see this go to 3, but at the very least, this is going to be one of the better matches of the tournament.
Yeah, Dragon is all tied up 1-1. Xerath, this tower's never going to go down though because he's got the wave clear forever. J4 taking his own blue buff, not going to give that over to Zed. I'm sure DeHaze is mad about that, wants it, always talks about, come on, give me the blue buff on Zed, it's so much better, I can spam abilities. But he's going to take some free harass here because the stun is landed. The ultimate comes through from Xerath, and Zed dodges everything, but he doesn't know that the bot lane's coming. Lands the stun. J4 is going to come through. Ulti him. The dive is coming in. J4 might die for this, and he's actually not going to, but they actually pick up the double and the dive. That well-timed flash from J4 saves his life. Zed goes in, gets the ulti, gets a ton of damage down to Hecarim. And Brunavik not having nearly as good of a game this time, and Lucian, Hobby Bunny having a great time on Lucian. The Muck, I'm not sure what he was doing. He was going in, not really to do much. And DeHaze comes in so low. Can Sion clean up the kill? Oh, the heals from Soraka. He's not going to be able to. Nick's going to go down as well. So close. What a bait. Sion chase him down. I'm not thinking so. Oh, so close. One more auto would have got him. Oh, that's so aggravating. But overall, that was a great play. We got 3 kills on Zed, on DeHaze. He's having a phenomenal game. Hoppy Bunny on that Lucian that he loves. 5-0-2. They are carrying this game very, very hard. Meanwhile, while the fight was going on mid, Beardly got a tower in the bot lane. Xerath sneaking up on Heimerdinger here, seeing if he can pick up a kill while he's backing. Misses all of his abilities. The Heimer turret is going to come down. He's going to take a ton of damage. Rank tank might go down here, and he does. Mudman solos rank tank. What a mistake. What are you doing? As Squishy Xerath walks straight into a Heimerdinger.
Yeah, that damage coming out. Heimer having completed his catalyst. He's got the death cap. He doesn't have a lot of mobility. No, he's completed catalyst. He hasn't completed one. He doesn't have a lot of mobility. But for some reason, no one's bugging him. He's just setting up his turrets, setting up shop, sitting there and poking away at Sion, picking off the Xerath that comes in lane. Hecarim maybe seeing the opportunity, clearing some jungle. Hopefully he'll come up there. Nick taking a lot of harass now from the Heimer, who conveniently walks into the Sion poke. It looks like those two are just going to trade and walk away.
Yeah, I think right there shows why that nobody's ganking. The gank comes through. Hecarim terrified. The Sion ulti. They're going to kill these turrets. I think that's exactly how they needed to gank it, and not before. The Xerath just walks in by himself and gets soloed. Like, you can't be a squishy AP carry and fighting a Heimerdinger. He's just too strong. No matter what, he'll kite you around his turrets, especially with his ulti up. It was a poor decision by Rank Tank.
Yeah, but it was made up for by the strong Sion Hecarim play. Both of them sweeping in super fast, wiping out their enemy. If we can see that kind of burst happen in team fights, we may see a bit of a turnaround, even with the gold differential being at 3k.
Yeah, I think the only problem is they're not going to be able to get that combo off in team fights because of the J4 ulti. The Hecarim will be able to get his ult off, but Sion is going to get stopped dead in his tracks, and he's not going to hit anyone if that J4 ulti is popped at the right time. And on the right person. Looking for a death bush here. They're going to try and set that up, but the Sion Sunfire Cape aggroes aggroes the birds and kind of throws off their death bush plan.
Yeah, Scion's just too big to hide. They're trying to clear up some vision, make sure that they have vision control around their dragon, they have their own jungle under control. They don't want Xerath to get picked off while they're setting up for this team fight. That using some fancy footwork, dodging the Xerath harass. Mudman is bot this time, so that'll be a little different. He hasn't been at any of the previous team fights. We'll see if he's making a large difference. His team has been successful even without him, so he'll probably contribute in a positive way, able to protect his back line, able to keep that pressure going, keep pushing lanes, and hopefully they can rush this dragon. But there's vision for both sides. Both teams know where everyone else is. Nick and Co sitting on a ward. This is one of those moments where you look at your team and you go, gee golly, we sure do need a sweeper, guys.
And yet no one on the team has one. The only person to pick one up is Agent Church, which is kind of surprising. Probably coached by his AD carry to pick that one up there, but no one else has upgraded their trinkets, and we're well past level 9. Usually people get those right away. The J4 gets a great ulti, but just gets annihilated as soon as he's done. The Hecarim dive in the back line. Gonna get kited by Hoppy Bunny. Stunned up, he's still going to live, and the Muck fed to the wolves. Meanwhile, Graves gets out with the skin of his teeth. Xerath cannot duel up close and personal with his Zed. The Zonia's coming in. He's probably going to have to flash. Gets knocked up by Scion, but still not enough. Lucian picking up another kill, and Heimer gets 2. Ooh, do you think we can get Nick get him again? No, doesn't. We might have a pause coming through. The Muck just left the game. Yep, pause coming through a DC. We'll be back as soon as this can be fixed.
A summoner has reconnected.
And we should be starting relatively shortly here. Here we go. In 2, 1, and back. There's just a little bit of a leg issue that was being resolved.
The gold difference, 5k. Even though there's 7 kills in difference, the gold lead is only 5,000 gold. So this is actually a pretty close match. Turrets obviously being in the favor of red team. They've been pushing harder. They have the Heimer, they have the Lucian, they have the Zed, all of which strong turret pushers. J4 giving them the attack speed boost. They've been doing a phenomenal job of just pushing down those towers, getting map pressure. It doesn't look like any sweepers. Wait, Leona just picked up a sweeper on this last back, so we might see a little bit of vision being cleared up now. But everyone else sticking with their default trinkets.
I can see why the junglers wouldn't pick up a sweeper. I really appreciate the Razorbeak's buff, but they haven't been smiting it. When I play the jungle, I smite that Razorbeak's. Well, as soon as we get out of laning phase, smite that buff every single time your smite is up and that camp is up, because it's a natural sweeper, and you don't have to guess where the wards are in the bushes. and waste your trinket hoping that it's in a bush. It just tells you when you run into one, and you can clear 2 or 3 wards all at the same time. We got an engage coming in here. The Muck going way too deep. Gets picked off by the Heimer, getting another kill. Having a great day for himself on this Heimer.
Yeah, Heimer finally picking up some boots. He's able to run around now, try to pick off enemies. They've got a lot of lane pressure. They got the pick, and now they can force a lot of aggression, try to push down mid lane. They might actually be able to break that last line of turrets. We'll see. But at the end of the day, they have little vision on the map for both teams. So a Baron pick could be possible. Dragon's not up for a little while yet. But the team's kind of looking for some objectives, looking for some picks. Dareth, Scion, both able to hold these turrets almost indefinitely. So we'll have to see if they can break that front line.
Hoppy Bunny taking a little bit of poke here. Yeah, I think that TeamAllIn is looking to go all in here or set up a pick around Baron. They've pushed mid for a little bit of the time and realizing the siege game is not happening with the Xerath wave clear and the Scion wave clear that they have. It's just not happening. And if the wave gets up to the tower, Graves is pretty. They're looking to pick out Ancient Church. They kill. Hecarim gets killed in a trade for the support. Yes, the Soraka's down, which is good, but Graves picks up another kill. So far, a 2 for 2. A well-traded fight, but Hoppy Bunny goes a little deep, gets hit by a stun from rank take, and Graves picks up another kill. He's 4-1. He's having a great game. The Heimer Bush of Death. All of those turrets. Oh my goodness, the Muck. You just can't walk into that. Xerath just gonna have to clear that one away with some wave clear. Doesn't even know that they're there still. So they finally go down. Just gonna push out this wave and take the 3 for 3 that was given.
Yeah, those towers are getting really low though. While that team fight happened, bot wave pushed, hit bot tower hard. That's really low, and top turret has only like 100 health left. It's very close to death. So we're going to see blue team hold up in their base very quickly. Still though, even after that bloodbath, there's only about a 5k gold difference. So these teams both going very even. The team fights both very close, about the same amount of damage, same number of picks. Zed did a phenomenal job stopping the initiate from Hecarim, taking him out early last time, but Scion came in, did some solid CC, and set up his team for an even trade. One thing we have to worry about.
We're looking a little aggressive. Xerath, or Fearvictin looking to get caught out. The Zenith Blade and the Xerath stun just barely missing. Xerath needs to be a back line here and hopefully not get dove by the J4 and the Zed. Scion get left alone in the top lane, takes a tower, evens up the tower. Oh, never mind. Brings the tower difference to 1, just to the difference of the second tier mid tower. They're kind of having a standoff around mid, turn into a 5-man ARAM here. Heimer actually splits off with the team, and J4 does as well. J4 is looking to flank. Hecarim is off on the side too, probably to push bot lane, or looking for the flank as well, getting some vision control, making sure that they don't get flanked themselves. And Heimer is still pushing top. Looks like he's coming down to rejoin his team. Well, Team HanSoloMid looking to push mid. I don't know what they're doing. They don't have the advantage. They should be letting the other team. They're going to die. The Scion ulti misses. Griffsword diving the back line. Old Fearly dodging around, dodging everything, missing. Heimerdinger finally joins the fight. He's so fed. They're so deep. Awful. Zed going to kill the Xerath. He's gonna get out too. So far, a 3 for nothing. Graves gets out barely by the skin of his teeth. Oh, he might get caught by J4. And Hecarim's gonna get out as well. That movement speed. He gets seen though. The chase is down. Let's see if they can pick up a kill here. But you can't catch the Hecarim. He is too fast. But overall, this is gonna be a pickup, a Baron pickup for TeamAllIn. Let's see if they get this one going. They should be able to burst down pretty fast. 8-1 and 7 Lucian. A Zed with 4-1 and 5. This Baron's gonna go way too fast.
Yeah, the second match has been a lot closer than the first one. This is the comeback that we really wanted to see. This match is probably going to go to 3. They have the Baron buff. They can finally break that turret line. Hoppy Bunny trying to prevent the dragon, but I don't think he can outsmite him.
He actually does. He gets it. And Bernington goes down in the process. Hoppy Bunny steals the dragon, and the Xerath ulti was used in attempts to hit and missed all 3 shots. Hoppy Bunny outplaying the entire team here. 9-1 and 7 on this Lucian. It is a comfort pick. Sure, we'll see a ban in the next game. Even though this game is close, it doesn't look so close. The gold lead now up to around 8k gold, and it doesn't even look close by the score of kills. It's 21-8. It's so lopsided, but really the advantage isn't really that high.
Yeah, one thing we have to note is Heimer actually has 7 of their kills, a large amount of gold going to him, and he's starting to build tank. He's got the Rod of Ages, he's got a little bit of armor going. So even though he's obviously bringing a lot of harass, he's been making some strong plays in this match. But part of the reason we feel like the difference isn't obvious is because Heimer's been split pushing with his portion of the gold.
It's true. That's true. It's a lot of the gold advantage is up there in the top lane, and in the 80 carries. That almost the 252 farm to the 200 is a huge difference. And Heimer, just so many more kills over the enemy team. That's where the gold advantage is. It is Mudman stepping it up and Hoppy Bunny stepping it up and playing like a god. Chilling's Might comes in, just maybe a little bit of a taunt, but still does next to no damage. A little bit of poke from the Xerath coming through.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to use their Baron buff to push this. Baron buff's pretty much worn off. They need to wait for a wave. I'm surprised they have the Heimer, but the fact is, you can't take down a Xerath. It's really hard to siege him. I'm surprised they didn't just rotate to one of the easier tower picks, but it looks like they're dedicated to this mid lane. They're setting themselves up for some serious wombo combos though, because you've got the Sion ult, you have the Wreck-A-Rim ult, you have the Xerath poke. Standing in the middle of a lane is a horrible place to be against this team. If there's a pick, if there's a good shot, we could see a turnaround.
Yeah, they made terrible use of that Baron buff. They went to straight push mid, and that's not a place to be. That's not a tower you can dive safely, because those inhib towers do so much damage. They shred your tanks who are tanking it. And you're going against the wave clear of a Sion with his shout and a Xerath with his Qs and all of his wave clear. It's not something something you want to do, and even if you do get close, Graves is there to just buckshot and clear the entire wave. It's a terrible team to siege with. They should have taken both of their time of their Baron buff and taken both of the outer turrets that they can dive safely without being shredded. They should have dove those towers, taken those towers, and forced those to create a larger gold deficit. Push down maybe the bot tower where maybe it's a little bit excluded, so Baron is an easier take next time.
Yeah, definitely they could have tried to split up that pressure, try to keep the Xerath in one location while the rest of the team is in the other. There were a couple options available for them, but the fact is they went after the dragon. They took dragon. Yes, they successfully stole dragon from Hecarim, outsmited him, outplayed the team, but the fact is they were wasting their Baron buff. They could have been pushing that whole time. They could have tried to take a tower. But no, at the end of the day, they took some damage, they backed, and they didn't really accomplish much with the Baron. One thing I really want to point out, we brought this up earlier, Sion building a lot of armor to deal with the high amount of physical damage on the enemy team, but can't ignore the Heimerdinger anymore. Heimer's 7-1. He's been wrecking in these team fights, bringing a ton of damage, and Sion isn't able to answer that. He has some health, but he's pretty much put all his money into armor, and that's one of the reasons he's been getting wrecked in these team fights.
The engage from DeHaze, he's going way too deep, gets poked down, a perfect ulti for a disengage, hits Hobby Bunny, but DeHaze just getting healed up in the backline. Agent Church, those heals are starting to do a lot. He's got a Fiend, and he's just, those heals are going to be doing a lot. DeHaze getting hit, but Old Beardly going down. The Hecarim ulti burned just to force him off, but they're pretty much still full because of the Soraka. He's the only one low. Sion getting poked down here. Pretty much the entire team. There was a lot of damage from Team HanSoloMid, but at the same time, the Soraka heals are just too strong. You can just spam those for days, and it's so much.
Yeah, like I said, Sion slammed in there. Hit Sword was a fantastic front line. That was a solid initiation. His team wasn't there to back him up, and he took a ton of damage from Heimerdinger. Ended up running into 3 turrets, taking a full rockets and a grenade. The fact is, he can't be doing that kind of thing if he isn't building magic resist. And then at the end of the day, he staggered back under tower, defeated, just like Sion the champion, who had to be brought back from the dead.
I'm really anxious to see this next game. If it goes into game 3, I can't wait to see what they ban in Champ Select, because Team HanSoloMid is going to have to make some changes. They're not going to be able to let this Heimer go through again, or this Lucian. It's too strong. And hopefully they can get their J4 back, because I think that threw Brunavik for a loop, and this Hecarim has been a poor performance. He is 1-5-4. And also this Xerath from Rank Tank, which is kind of surprising. It's one of his stronger champions. But I think giving up an early kill was not what he was expecting, and because of it, he is also 1-5, and that having two of the carries on their team is so far behind and leaving all of it in Graves' hands it's not safe. Baron is up, Ward game is going on. We're gonna see if one of these teams can pick it up. Hopefully press their advantage, and if it is TeamAllIn, hopefully they make better choices than just trying to hard push mid lane against the Sion and against the Xerath.
Yeah, I know one of the complaints you had earlier was that neither of the junglers were smiting Raptors, but we just noticed Grifsor making the smart decision, smiting Raptors this time, comes in and starts sweeping up around Baron. So they do have some solid vision control in the area, but the fact is the waves are not pushing in their favor. They can't take this securely. Even though they have Scuttle, at most this means that their enemy can't take it from them. It looks like they're sending Lucian to start shoving bot a little bit, put some pressure down there. This could be very risky. If they lose a Baron, we could see a bit of a comeback. But as we saw the other night, even if you get a Baron, you need people to get out with the Baron. At the end of the day, a snuck Baron only means as much as the people who have it, and if everyone dies in this next team fight, it won't be a worthwhile trade, even if you do pick up a Tristana kill.
Yeah, I like to point out the trinkets here. The only person to upgrade their trinket is Brunavik with the green upgrade on his yellow trinket, which is the one that basically makes your trinket a sightstone right now. It's a really short cooldown, about 45 seconds. You can place up to 3 wards that last 2 minutes. Very strong trinket upgrade. I prefer that one in the jungle. It's pretty much like having a sightstone without having to buy it. And then the only other trinket switch that we see is DeHaze picking up a sweeper. which is very typical of him. He likes picking up late game, but still, there isn't really much TeamAllIn setting up a death bush right now, hoping that they start
really
Baron.
Stupid. They're all standing in a single spot against a team with the Scion and the Hecarim, but they do get the pick.
Hecarim is going to try and ult into the team. I don't know if that was the direction he wanted to go. Dies in the process. Xerath putting down some poke. The death bush with a J4. That ulti's good. Meanwhile, DeHaze is diving the entire back line, 3v1ing. He's going to stay alive just simply because he's got the backup. Goes really low. Gets taken down. That Xerath ulti doing a ton of damage. But overall, it's a 1. Maybe Rank Tech can make up for it, but overall it's just a 1 for 4.
Yeah, Agent Church a little late on that Soraka heal. It did come down, but at the end of the fight, had it been a little bit earlier, it might have actually saved DeHaze. It was just enough health. He would have survived one more Xerath ability. But it looks like Rank's still able to hold this tower all by his lonesome.
That Quicksilver Sash was extremely late from Hoppy Bunny. I do not know what he was doing. He popped it after the stun was already expired. It took all the damage. I don't know what that Quicksilver Sash was there for, but maybe he just popped it because, oh right, I have Quicksilver Sash, I forgot. This is going to be another dragon in a, oh, maybe not. It's up in a minute and a half. They didn't
this
take...
could be their 5th dragon, actually. 4th?
It is their 4th dragon. It will be the 5th one taken of the game, but since HanSoloMid secured the very first dragon, it'll be their 3rd dragon. I mean, their 4th dragon, right?
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to keep vision control on Baron, but no one really wants to risk it. Ideally, they could put some pressure on the other lanes. Hecarim's actually back in base. This would be the perfect time to take it.
The Muck getting caught out. He's going to go down here. Fails his flash. Meanwhile, DeHaze is just going to town. Almost takes down Old Beardly. They're going to start the Baron up. That's going to be a free one. Forcing Xerath and Old Beardly to back. It's going to have to be a Hecarim Smite steal, and he's not even close to get it. Scion, a little close. I don't know what he's doing sticking around. He's got to back out. They're going to have to back off. TeamAllIn's going to back. Bye. Prepare to push lanes.
Hopefully, they'll push lanes this time. It looks like Hobby Bunny sticking around, trying to clear some minions. But again, if they take Baron and they don't use it to its full potential, it won't be worthwhile.
What we see here is DeHaze is going to split bot, which is really smart, spreading out your Baron buff, getting as many minions buffed as possible. If you spread out the enemy team, yes. If they dive all one, you're going to lose the other 2 lanes. Minions are just too strong, and if you split the team without Baron, that means that I think they're going to use their Baron to take Dragon, which they actually don't get any combat stats from Baron. It's all minion buffs. But they burn it so fast. Gets the Baron. Is that number 5?
And it looks like Vision Lord was right in this case, having enough vision to spot this, that it was the 5th dragon. They have 5 dragons, all the double bonuses, they have Baron buff, and if they can't take the pace with these bonuses, then that's honestly a little sad. They're going in, wrecking the frontline Scion, trying to pick off the Leona, getting a little bit of damage on Rank Tank, but they're still not quite taking down that front line of turrets. Heimer doing his best to push, but Xerath just clearing minions.
They definitely need something to show what abilities or how many dragons they have. They need to fix that. Get on that, people. And first inhib of the game going down for TeamAllIn. This is a lot sloppier of a win. Then it's a lot longer, and it's taking twice as long as, or not twice as long, but taking a lot longer, about 20 minutes longer than in the last game, just simply because they're not nearly as clean of a victory.
I think part of that is there's a psychological effect of that first loss. It was a heavy loss, And even though they're ahead, the gold lead, they don't know the gold difference. To them, they can feel that they're powerful, but all of these fights have been relatively risky, and deep in their mind, they still know there's a chance they can throw. So they just want to take what they can, keep pushing, take little victories, but that could be a problem. They're letting the Scion passive grow. The more minions he gets, the tankier he gets. He still... Nope, he actually finally picked up a little bit of magic resist, so he is a solid frontline now. If their team can get the right play, if they don't get picked and they initiate, this could be a bit of a turnaround.
Looks as though HanSoloMid is caught a little off guard. A lot of their team is top lane when TeamAllIn is looking to push bot. I think they can realize that TeamAllIn can realize that they're strong right now just simply because it's 9-27. They should be able to close out this game really fast. I mean, they're up by 17k gold. That is a massive lead, especially with that dragon and that baron. 2 barons now, that's a lot of gold.
Yeah, if we want a visual of the differential, just look at Lucian compared to Graves. You'll see they're pretty much the same build, and then there's an entire Merc Sem for Lucian. Obviously, that's saving him from a lot of the crowd control on the enemy team, providing him with that extra damage and that extra magic resist against the Xerath poke.
There's a few GAs out on the side of TeamAllIn, and really all they have to do is sit here and wait. Their Baron buff is about to expire, but if it hasn't already, I think it just expired. But they can just sit here and wait. All they have to do is wait for mid lane to push out and get minions there. And if Hecarim, as soon as it builds up and he can't clear it anymore, they can just push in and take tower. They can actually dive if they wanted to. I don't know if they realize that they're strong enough, but they could dive very easy right now.
Yeah, DeHay is feeling a little thirsty. He is playing Zed. It's one of the safest dives. Xerath being very... Well, he was pretty low on mana, a little low on health. Xerath does not have a Guardian Angel. It could easily be one of those backline picks. It looks like
Ults in on the Graves. Does quite a bit of damage. Gets out. Doesn't quite pop him. Graves actually comes back with a lot of health. Did he actually ult the Leona? Not sure. But Lucian coming in, getting the Graves. Zed gets rank take, kills him. They're gonna go 5 for 1 here. That's a pretty easy ace. If Scion ever wants to go down, he's very tanky. He finally goes down. It's gonna be a 5 for 1 ace. This is gonna be the end of the game. GG's coming in all around. TeamAllIn takes the game 2. We're going to game 3, folks. Don't touch that browser. We'll be right back.
Remember to let us know what your favorite part of the game was. Tweet us at #VisionLord. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 3. The first time in this tournament that the games have actually gone to the 3rd match. We have an additional shoutcaster to represent the 3rd game. We have 3 shoutcasters. You'll recognize him as the ADC from the other night. The man, the legend who could solo a base tower as Tristana and tank a full laser.
2 sodas, 1 chalice.
Hey, what's up, guys? Glad to be here.
Alright, so in game 1, we're seeing very similar bans, but this time, instead of the Syndra ban for HanSoloMid, it's coming through as the Zed ban, getting rid of that champion. Although they're leaving the Syndra open, which is one of DeHaze's comfort picks, but it's been nerfed recently, and the stun is a lot harder to land. But other than that, same bands coming through for Team All In. Also, first picking the J4 again, taking away from Brynavicton. Common. Hopefully we don't see a J4 into a Hecarim again this game. The Nidalee pick being hovered by Rank Tank. I think he's going for a little bit of a different pick. Xerath was a cover pick. Didn't perform in it last game. I think he's going to take the Nidalee. I don't know why he's hovering it or going to pick it first pick, allowing DeHaze to counter. But apparently he just doesn't care, and he's confident in his play.
I'm really, really hoping for an Urgot shout-out hover. But it looks like instead we're just going to have the Corki lock from O'Beardly. He feels really good after that first game. He's thinking he needs to go back to it. It's a safe pick, has a lot of mobility, a lot of harass, and a lot of solid wave clear.
The Heimerdinger locked in again for Mudman. He's going to take that top, hopefully into the Scion again. Agent Church, I don't know what he's doing. Maybe just hovering around. Probably going to go with the Soraka or the Sona pick again. Soraka's a very strong champion, but I think he's just flipping through champions, trolling a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah, it would actually be really interesting if he locked in that Zyra. Phenomenal CC. We haven't seen her in a long time. But no, he's going back to Soraka. Everyone knows that horns make you horny, and horniness is the key to victory.
I'm really looking forward to this Corki play by O'Beardly. He's
Number one, Nick. Hovering the cannon, quite possible. He does actually play a lot of cannon, but his team is telling him, no, we need a front line. Stop, cannon isn't that good.
Like I was saying, I really like to see this Corki play again. I hope he... Oh, Griffsor, that's a call out to me. He's hovering the Ash. I can see it. I can feel it. I can dream it. I played at Ash top in the last tournament. I hope he locks that in. Ash jungle. I'm hoping and praying. The Poppy hover, not gonna happen. All right. Okay. Now they're just trolling. I felt so honored for a second there.
There is no Lucian ban. You called it, but it didn't actually happen. He's hovering Ezreal. Thinking about that, another one of his comfort picks. Very beautiful because he has Pulse Fire, which obviously means he's a good good Ezreal player. But at the end of the day, he's going back to the Lucian. Both AD carries picking up their strongest champions. We have both top laners returning to the same chance, both supports returning to the same chance. We have the same J4 jungle, and DeHaze actually taking Yasuo, a really interesting pick against the Nidalee and the Corki. This will be really good against the Poke. And if he can pull off some strong combos with the J4, we could see some serious plays.
Yeah, DeHaze, he's locked in every single AD mid laner so far that are popular in this meta. He's locked in the Talon the first game, Zed the second, now he's on the Yasuo. He's making his rounds on the AD mid laners. But the thing is, there aren't any additional knockups on his team other than J4 standard pull, which is easily missed. And so that's the only other knockup sustain of his ultimate. Hopefully he can make do with that, but I'm not sure. The Yasuo play isn't that phenomenal, but he has gone off on it before in these tournaments. So we'll have to see on that. Brynavicton, let's see his pick. Don't know if he'll take hovers the Orianna. Oh, I see what's going on. Brynavicton, Nidalee is going in the jungle for Rank Tank. They're switching roles. The Orianna is a good pick into Yasuo because she can play safe, use that shield to prevent harass, and constantly harass him with her ball. This is a good switch.
Yasuo jungle, or are they just screwing with us?
They're just trolling for sure.
I hope so. You did miss earlier when you mentioned that he's picking all the AD junglers popular in the current mid lane meta. There was no Urgot. He's actually pretty strong in the mid lane as long as the enemy mid laner is AFK for the first 3-4 minutes.
Right, only if the AFK is there. What do you think about that, Tucson's one Chalice?
About which part of the Urgot play? I mean, once Urgot gets the tier, I can think about that, but until he gets that, you know, he's kind of struggles against most matchups. But I like what you could see what blue team was thinking here with trying to counterpick the Nidalee with the Yasuo. Yasuo has a really good time in the mid lane against Nidalee since he can block out her spear, then dodge in and out, and makes it a really tough target for Nidalee to lock down and get damage on. As far as these two comps, Purple's team's got a pretty strong siege comp with the Nidalee again and the Corki throwing out the long range poke. Also, they got some good engage though with Leona Oriana combo too with the Scion, and they're getting knockups as well. But that can all be kind of outplayed at the Yasuo, so it'll be interesting to see how this game works out and which team takes advantage of the tools they got.
Yeah, okay, so Cubes, this part of the recording just pretty much doesn't matter because of the 3-minute delay, so.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this this Nidalee jungle.
Has Rank played it before?
A rank? He plays it all the time. Apparently
Really?
like he played it. He played in a custom game to try it out, and
Mhm.
like he just like got his jungle pathing down and like killing camps early.
He
He
just
figured
really
it out.
liked it.
He figured out he liked it. He took it into 3 games in a row, and he shit stomped every single one.
Really?
Like
Damn.
I think he's only lost 1 game on Nidalee jungle. Like
That's
it
good.
is something
How
that he's
is it?
really comfortable with.
We'll see how the mid lane Oriana goes though, because Oriana has Oriana well played has the edge against Yasuo, but Yasuo can take advantage of a lot of missteps with the Qs being missed and stuff. That he can make the Qs missed and get damage on that way too.
Yeah, I don't know. Eric's not the greatest mid laner.
Yeah.
I think Hayes has the upper hand in this fight, but I think like I don't know. That ball it can be easily maneuvered around the wind wall. Like
Yeah, if the wind wall does stop it though.
it
It in its
stops it,
tracks.
but you can easily move it around it, you know?
You can, yeah. No, the Yasuo is a really good pick against their team. He stops like 3 of their abilities in a way.
Yeah.
He stops like the long range poke from Corki, from Nidalee, can stop the E engage from Leona. So I mean most of this game, I think most of blue team's chance to win this relies on the Yasuo wall. Otherwise, purple team, if they get the engage, their team fight is so much stronger. They're just gonna if they don't get ahead early, they're gonna slaughter.
Yeah. I think Mark has a step up in the bot lane because the last game he got destroyed. He was down like 70 farm at one point to Logan, and Logan was just shitting on him. Like it can't happen again. I think.
Yeah, no, exactly. Mark,
like the first game though, Mark won lane. It was really good. Like
yeah, we'll see how that goes because I mean Logan's.
Well, he tied lane, but eventually it was like 9-1. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Logan's played a lot more Lucian than Graves. So Logan's comfortable on that, and I think Lucian early game I think beats Corki. But if they can get
Lucian doesn't beat Corki.
Well, he can outplay Corki.
He can outplay Corki, but because of his dash.
Corki very easily.
But Corki can easily beat as soon as level 6 is. Corki wins.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But
like,
before that, but it also depends. I mean, I think the more this is going to be on the supports this lane than it is going to be on the ADC for pre-6.
The thing is,
Leona needs to be aggressive early.
Lucian, you can 2v1.
Yeah. Exactly.
And all that Zach is going to do is sit back and heal him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they just need to find a way to Leona to lock him down. But who's the Merc? Who is that?
Brian Merchant. Or no, not Brian Merchant. Brian Christensen.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Huge.
Yeah, should be interesting. Is that shopkeeper a walrus?
What did you say?
Is the purple side shopkeeper a walrus? What is that?
I have no idea.
Oh, bullshit.
I so called that.
Yeah, French made Nidalee being picked up by Rank Tank. As we know, skins get wins. Purely based on that, though, Hoppy Bunny's team is set up for victory. I'm going to put money on them. They have 3 skins to the 2. I'm going to say it's going to be a close game, but at the end of the day, those that have skins are going to be the ones that get fed and carry.
Yeah, we're here. We got just got the early game shenanigans sitting around in the riverside, just watching, make sure there's no invades, kind of goofing around, some all chat smack, placing some wards, trying to get some vision down of who's going where. Won't be any lane swaps in this game. Neither team is comfortable with it. We haven't seen it yet. Won't happen.
Minions have spawned.
Here, mouse.
It looks like Griffsor starting bot. J4, a pretty strong jungler. He'll be able to clear quite a few camps, move pretty quickly. Both junglers actually going to... Well, no. I don't know anything about Nidalee's jungle capabilities. I think she has a fair amount of sustain. She should be okay in the jungle.
She's weak early, but if she doesn't get invaded while taking her first rotation, she can come back with her with a little bit of AP, and she gets as soon as she gets her jungle item for clear. If she takes the right jungle item, she can get her clear down faster and do more damage to the creeps that she's fighting, or that she's trying to kill, and she can actually survive a lot. Her heal keeps her sustain a long time. I don't know if Rain Tank's going to be gutsy enough to try and take a full rotation. Sometimes he does it, sometimes he doesn't on this jungle Nidalee. I personally would never take an entire full rotation just because I'm not experienced at this champion, and she's kind of really squishy early. But it looks as though he's going to skip Razorbeaks and go straight to his red buff and try and get a full rotation in.
Yeah, I'm already noticing a different playstyle in a couple lanes. Mudman actually being a lot sloppier, maybe overconfident. Nick's taking a lot of poke though, so this is going to be a relatively even trade. He misses the shout, but I was paying attention to bot lane earlier. The playstyle has actually changed. Corky's playing very aggressive early. In their first game, which he won with Corky, he was actually playing relatively passive. He fell behind a little bit in farm, but they didn't feed it all. Now he's trying to focus on the poke, trying to land that extra damage on Hobby Bunny, but he's missing. I'm wondering if that's going to contribute to the farm differential in this game, which you can actually see if we try and rearrange the these.
Got a double gank going top.
Yeah, we get the counter gank coming in right away. Griffsor uses Flag and Drag to knock up Rank Tank, but Nidalee is just so strong early, and Cyan's gonna zone out Mudman. He might actually go down here, force the flash, get away. Rank Tank just so strong. Nidalee still chasing down. First blood goes to Cyan on the shield. Nidalee still chasing down Griffsor. She's so strong early just simply because Yasuo's coming in from the side, just simply because she can constantly spam abilities. Rank Tank's gonna get caught off guard here, but he should be able to jump away. The flash, the greedy flash, Orianna coming in, he can't fight this at 2v1. Blows a flash for nothing. So much greed coming in from DeHaze. He wanted that early kill. Nidalee, you're not going to catch her. She is so mobile, especially with Orianna coming back in from support. Not worth.
Yeah, lots of early aggression coming out of that top lane. One thing to notice is both Ignites are down in the mid lane, I believe. Both of them were used a bit prematurely, but so right now the kill lane in there is brought down a little bit. Might see some more passive farming because of that.
Yeah, I don't know. There'll be definitely passive farming from Birnavicton on the Orianna, because that's how she gains her power and gets strong. She can play aggressive, but not many Orianna players do, and I don't think he will. He'll want to play non-aggressive just simply because he doesn't have Ignite, where DeHaze is still going to play aggressive. He's always the aggressive champion. Balls deep is his motto, and he wants to go under that tower and get the kill.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of that aggression coming out again in bot lane. Leona landing the Zenith Blade and following up with a Q, successfully locking down Hobby Bunny. But the synergy is not there. We didn't have the Corky follow through, which means Hobby Bunny just chilling at full health, getting the rocket deals, getting the easy farm.
Rank Tank missing the spear could have gotten a lot more damage down on Yasuo there. J4 coming in, gets the swag flag, but doesn't decide to take it in. Doesn't want to fight Nidalee right now. She's very strong. Again, a Zenith Blade and a stun in the bot lane, but no follow-up from Old Beardly. He just wants to sit and farm, kind of bully a little bit. Hopefully the Muck can just walk up, get some stuns in, and not really much other than that. He's just kind of playing it normal. Good trade back from Old Beardly. Let some damage get down onto his sport, but then instantly turns and gets a lot of damage down on Hobby Bunny.
There is a little bit of synergy, like displacement in this bot lane, though. There's sometimes this Leona's going forward and the Corki's hopping back a little bit. I think if they're both on the same page here, they get to capitalize on a much better trade on that bottom one.
Yeah, that definitely comes down to the play style of those two bot lanes. Oak Beardly likes to play passive, but he plays a wide variety of ADCs, and his farm is a little weaker because he's more flexible and less of a specialist, though his passive style doesn't always work out the best for him. At the same time, Brian, Merc, playing the Leona, playing a very aggressive champion, but he can't play aggressive with the follow-through from Corki, and so that disjunction is just going to throw their lane off. They could be making a lot more plays on that. They could be winning lane.
The Nidalee Spear blocked in the mid lane. Rank take still going. The flash, complete whiff by Orianna. The Haze could make some outplays here, but he's going to go down. Gets the Under Tower, gets the kill, the outplay. Rank take going down, takes 2 tower shots during the course of that ulti. That was well played by the Haze, and he gets out with his life.
Yeah, Mudman down in levels, taking a lot of harass, low on mana, low on health. Probably should back soon, but he doesn't have the farm to justify it. He's down a lot in creep. Cyan is already backed. Picked up magic resist this game. He learned his lesson. He's got the null magic, taking less damage from the harass and poke. And he doesn't need to worry about the rest of his team because it looks like they're making plays.
Yeah, the Heimerdinger down over almost a level and a half too on the Scion, getting zoned out of the experience range very effectively.
He is, I think he's playing this a little, not like he was playing the last match. Last match he sat underneath his own towers, underneath the 3 of them, and he was just letting his towers do all the farm. A gank in the bot lane coming through. J4 misses the flag and drag, forces the Muck to flash, uses his ulti, gets the stun, but he's still taking a harass. He's stutter stepping, trying to zigzag for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure, but he goes down here, and Lucian gets a kill.
Yeah, the Merc actually activated the Leona stun, but never bothered to proc it on Hoppy Bunny, probably hesitating to try and counter-engage. Hearing from his ADC or from his other teammates that it was a bad idea, he tried to disengage then, and it was just too late. Got picked off, and now that will probably be a dragon. Blue team.
The dragon will be secured here for TeamAllIn. A good start again. This is exactly how the last game started, and the early game was the key to the success of TeamAllIn. As soon as they get rolling early, especially onto Haze in the mid lane, as soon as he gets rolling and gets fed, he applies more map pressure everywhere else, and I think that's exactly what they need to win this game. They could go, and they could take this game too.
Interesting to note, though, despite the 2-1, I guess we got down 300 gold now, but the gold is relatively close, I think, in large part to this top lane. Doing very well in CS compared to his counterpart in Heimerdinger.
With also the first blood kill, that is the only kill for HanSoloMid, and that's really what's keeping their gold close. The farm, although in the top lane, even though it's a little off, it's not nearly as great as the CS deficit in the mid lane. The mid lane is like such a high CS difference, and the Nick 2v1ing the number 1 Nick. He's just going hard. Zion is just so tanky and does a lot of damage early. That shout and that, if you stand in his fully charged up X-Wing, that is a lot of damage you're going to take.
Italy coming in top. She got spotted up by a ward though, so that looks to be the end of that one.
Uses the Razor Beaks, the smite bonus to clear out that ward, so next time he comes up there, hopefully it won't be. Lucian using the culling here, throwing out to push out the wave under tower so he can go back, buy, hopefully pick up his the pickaxe or the crit cloak for the rest of his IE.
Yeah, something interesting to note about this game as the Black's game is there's a lot more aggression in mid lane again, but there are ganks happening to top lane. Things were happening very early. In the previous 2 games, everyone pretty much forgot about the top laners. They're like, let them farm, let them scrap with each other a little bit. They're not really gonna die, don't worry about it. And now, ganks are happening, people are fighting over it. I think that's partly because of the jungler change. Rank is a little bit more likely to roam. It looks like Eric favored the mid lane. He's not the jungler this time. Heimer, Mudman, trying to push off Nick, trying to save his turret. But at the end of the day, we're seeing a little bit of a change in pressure on the map. And it'll be interesting to see if that means the carries change, or if that means a game-changing victory.
I think it's less to do with the jungle change as much as it is to do in the first game. The number 1 Nick was so far ahead that it was basically another force to be reckoned with, and the top lane was so far behind. Like
There's that wind wall.
That wind wall saving the Nidalee spear, and exactly what you said to Sunderland Chalice to keep the Nidalee down. That wind wall is very well timed. But what I was saying is that Sion was very big in the first game, and then in the second game, Heimer was huge. He was very big. I think that they've realized that the top lane has potential to carry, and that they're going to actually put some effort into hopefully getting their top laner fed to carry the game as well.
Yeah, again, the gold lead, pretty much nothing. A bit of an engage coming out from Lemur.
Exhaust going down.
Putting down some hard CC.
Oh, they got damage though. Oh, the Q in.
The rank tank, but J4 is here to counter engage the flash. He wants it. He's gonna get knocked up, and the Lucian picks up the kill there. The J4 ulti. Lucian, the heal to save the Merc. They're still gonna chase down this kill. The flag and drag. It's Merc has to flash and get out with his life.
There you can kind of see the disjoint though between the synergy. Nidalee went ham, but Corki was not wanting to go that deep, and then even after the fact, they still kind of went in, kind of pounded one after the other instead of going in as 3. A little bit of a misstep there.
Definitely don't know how to commit as much as a team, which is very difficult when they're playing a team that's all about the engage. They have the Orianna, they have the Corki, they have the Sion. They're looking to go hard, but they don't know when. They definitely need to get a little bit more communication going if they want to secure this game.
The blue buff steal going over, or did Orianna? Nope, Orianna didn't pick that up. But blue buff steal going to go over to Grisor. He's gonna take this one. Denying Nidalee buff, especially blue buff, is so good because she burns so much of her mana early. Constantly throwing spears, getting the passive on the buffs, or on the camp that she's taking, so she can do the bonus damage. Yes, she saves mana in her Cougar form, but still constantly throwing the spears, constantly healing to keep her sustain up. That blue buff is gonna be very well missed.
It looks like a bit of a lull here, so I'd like to point out that there's obviously less tanks on the map this time. I think everyone's trying to focus their gold towards items, trying to get some extra damage. They really want to win that lane. However, red team did pick up a little bit of a defensive ward, obviously afraid of those ganks, those counter ganks, and we're looking at the second dragon of the game popping up. It might be contested, but Nidalee is topside, so there's no smite follow through. Blue team picking up their second dragon of the game. Looks like they have some strong objective control, and this could be their way to counteract their losses in terms of deaths.
J4 coming mid.
They try to turn some aggression while they're trying to take tower, but the Zenith Blade misses. No all-in or no aggression place, and DeHaze is destroying in farm right now, up a whole 32 farm. That's just as much of a gap as it is in the top lane of 110 to 80. The farm deficit there probably offsetting just a little bit. Rank Tank farming really well, but J4 has 2 assists. He spent more time actually fighting in lane than Rank Tank has, as much as, even though Rank Tank has gotten ganks off, they've been really short, simply just because of, two junglers mid. The counter gank is going to come through right away. The wind wall again jumped in, and it just instant Q damage. 4 splash game Remington, he's still going to go down. Oh, nope, the shield, ulti, really good trade. Sion comes in, that's going to causes DeHaze to flash. He's got nowhere to run. The Soraka ulti coming in to help, but he's going to get chased down. Both very low. Bot lane coming up. This could be a double kill right here. Let's see. Rank Tank picking up a kill. Corki picking up a kill. That's exactly what they needed. Their carries to get rolling, get some kills, even up the kills, and actually even up the gold.
Yeah, great rotation by the red team there. Bot lane came up first, and that's what translated them into the kills. It might have been the reverse if the blue team came up there before them.
Yeah, Heimer looking to try and make something out of this. Sion burning his ulti to catch all the way down to river, but he's just going to teleport up top, save his turret, and make this worthwhile for the red team. There's no trade from blue.
The farm difference in the bot lane is kind of getting a little bit out of hand, but it's still, they're both picking up their kills in different places. The only kill in the bot lane that's actually from the bot lane is the one trade from the double gank and the Merc going down. But other than that, both kills in the bot lane coming from other places, coming from fights around Dragon or skirmishes, or from roams, and that's creating both ADCs to get strong and not one to really fall behind other than the farm difference.
Yeah, despite the 2-0 start by Lucian, he's only up about 500 gold right now. The assist and the kill for Corki definitely helped him close the gap with the CS differential.
And Corki at this point, as soon as he just picked up his Trinity Force, he is insanely strong right now. Just as much so as that Infinity Edge on Lucian, but also giving him the wave clear that he needs to catch up in CS. The combo of Corki to clear wave is so efficient that you're not going to miss CS. It's just, you don't have to spend time autoing every one. You just use 2 abilities that don't cost a lot of mana and clears the entire wave. It's so quick. I have a feeling that as long as Corki can keep his wave clear off of his tower, he can catch him in CS fairly fast.
Yeah, Hobby Bunny actually playing really
Birnavicton makes Hobby Bunny pop his field, gets the stun down. Leona gets the kill, which kind of sucks, but showing this bot lane has potential, gets the double kill, 2v2, they stay too long. Bot lane, way stronger right now. You can see that the Corki, having that Trinity Force, is stronger than the Lucian with the Infinity Edge.
And there you see them on the same page, finally deciding to both go aggressive and make good things happen.
Having to... Ooh, burning the flash. Yasuo gets the double kill. The tornado falling through. Sion might get this tower mid, but still a very not well thought out team fight, especially knowing that Yasuo is so fed right now. He's got static shiv and he's working his way towards, I'm not really sure. It looks like Bloodthirster, but I think you would purchase IE over Bloodthirster. I'm sure the lifesteal or the Vamp Scepter is just simply for lifesteal.
That is where we're seeing the biggest difference in the game here, though, is the basically 2,000 gold lead between Yasuo and Orianna. But here we're getting the shutdown coming. It looks like.
Yep, Sion getting
that
it.
up, that's a big swing.
That is a huge swing. Even though Orianna didn't get it, the gold advantage, she still is unkilled. She's still farming decently, and those 2 assists are very, very helpful. Cyan is getting very big in this game. He's got 2 kills. He's got Sunfire Cape, working some MR in, not as late as last game, hopefully preventing Heimerdinger from doing so much damage and getting big. Looks like they're making a top lane rotation, which would be very good. Probably try to push this lane down, especially if they catch the Heimerdinger here and they just barely miss him. They have a 4-man top push, which will be not counteracted. Dragon is up in 4 seconds though. They're going to take his top tower and give up another Dragon. That's going to be the 3rd Dragon of this game for TeamAllIn. More towards that 5. That pushed them over last game. As soon as they got that 5th Dragon, it was over. The faster that happens, the faster this game is going to end. Team HanSoloMid has to start prioritizing that Dragon because the more that they give up, the sooner this game is going to end.
Yeah, like we discussed earlier, top lane is huge. Saw that with the Scion coming in. All of a sudden, he joins the fight and he's actually taking out Yasuo. He's got the tankiness for it. He has the CC to lock down his mobility, and with it, his team can actually clean up. So we'll have to watch and see if team fights start to shift again now that Scion's starting to roam, because it looks like Heimer would prefer to just keep pushing top.
And even with this Scion building full tank, he's still doing a crazy amount of damage. His E is doing around 200 some damage. His Q doing nearly 500 damage fully charged. And his W getting stronger and stronger the more health he gets. So he'll still be putting out a surprise amount of burst damage, which could wreak some havoc in these team fights.
Yeah, not to mention the CC that he provides from his fully charged X-Wing and his ultimate. That's just a lot. That's just really strong, and he's just kind of a force that nobody can really fight right now and take down. So he's just kind of like wandering around the map, being a nuisance, and showing people who's boss and bullying people around. But we get J4 ganking in the bot lane, no Soraka, but the ulti coming in for to take down Beardly. Nidalee showing in, and Scion's coming down too. Let's see if and Orianna. It's gonna be a 4v2. The Orianna ulti coming in, pulls them together, gets 2 return kills. That was a very good rotation, and they're gonna get this bot tower. They're working on permanent objectives over the temporary ones that come up again.
Now, Orianna getting her first kill of the game too. Looks like she'll probably go back and get that hourglass, which is a very big item against the likes of a Yasuo.
That, and yeah, now that she's actually getting items, a 120 ability power item, she's gonna start to hurt, and it's gonna do a lot of damage. She's already got that tier stacking, going for the Seraph's Embrace. Hopefully get that shield to help her later. That she, on top of the shield that she already has, she's gonna be really hard to kill as soon as she gets all of her items rolling.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think of the Nidalee jungle. It actually performed pretty well in terms of wave clear, able to clear a lot of camps. Didn't die to jungle, that's always a good thing in the new jungle. But I don't know if it's been making the plays they've needed it to make. Rank hasn't been at those dragons. He was often ganking top when the enemy team would take the dragon. His ganks have been mediocre. He does bring a lot of damage, but he can't hit down.
J4 pinching off Cyan and Orianna here, forced to use the perfect disengage ulti from Leona. Rank Tank taking almost the entire culling, returns some spears. Overall, just a few abilities traded, but good rotations to save their members that were pinched by HanSoloMid to prevent a lot of casualties in that last fight.
Yeah, both teams having a lot of wave clear. We may be seeing another one of those long, drawn-out matches simply because either team can just hole up in base, clear minions for days. So that means things like Dragon and Baron are going to be highly contested, is that'll be what they need to break that last turret line.
This is where we'll see the 2 team compositions really mesh together at these sieging points. Blue side here, Team HanSoloMid are whatever that name is now, has got the good anti-siege with the Soraka heals and the little turrets that Mudman can throw out there, as well as good catch potential with the Yasuo and the Jarvan. Meanwhile, the red team here can just keep throwing spears and bombs and wait for a good time to dive once they get someone low enough. So it'll be interesting to see which one can play that out better.
Yeah, and the Orianna ball to zone the enemy. Yes, the Heimer's got a lot of zone potential with his turrets and to hold lane, but also at the same time, Orianna's got a lot of zone potential, especially when as soon as she gets, the more ability power she gets, the scarier that ball just sitting there is going to be. If she just stays within range of it, the Yasuo ulti comes out, gets the kill on Sion. Almost thought that ulti was going to be not worth it, but they got enough damage to burst him down there.
Yasuo went with the Blade of the Ruined King second item. I'm just sitting on that BF sword right now. Probably will be going to that Infinity Edge we talked about earlier, but wanted to go with the sustain and maybe a little bit of burst damage with the active there.
Yeah, definitely considering Sion to be a threat. They realize they can't exactly take him down with raw damage, so they pick up the board. A good way to shred down. But as we can see, even though they picked up the kill, it's a 5v4 right now, but they just can't break that turret line. Both teams have a lot of solid wave clear and solid puck.
And it's crazy how fast this game just turned into an ARAM, and for the last 2 to 5 minutes, we've just been sitting here watching them push lane back and forth in the mid lane, but now it looks as though Dragon is up, and that's going to be the next objective, especially for TeamAllIn, the blue team, because they already have 3. They just want the 4th and faster time to the 5th. They just can't get picked out. Hobby Bunny going very deep. Lucky that there was no one else to help Sion, but really they're just going to the pinch, the flank. Nilly's on the backside, throwing spears constantly. They don't want to start this Dragon yet. The other team moving in from the left side from mid lane. Let's get to see how this fight progresses and who gets the better engage. Because if Yasuo can get a good ultimate for an engage, that could turn the fight completely in the favor of the blue team instead of TeamAllIn. Griffsor looking for the flank right now, clearing out a pink ward.
This is where red team wants to have blue team right now with their poke they have, and making them bundle into a little spot like the Dragon Pit. That's where they can maybe land some free poke down and get a free fight for them.
Yeah, if they can combo the Sion ulti in with the Orianna ulti, that can be a deadly combo for Nidalee to jump in on, and Corki's Phosphorus Bomb to just blow everybody up. Fighting a small area is exactly what red team wants to do. Poke down, get some good damage, get them all close together, Sion ulti, do the whole thing. But I guess nobody's just ready to pull the trigger. They're just kind of going to sit here and dance.
Mudman shooting missiles off into nowhere. He successfully hits the darkness, burning a little bit of mana. It looks like both teams are, again, just going to poke. Griffsor getting a little bit more aggressive. Hayes actually sitting on the front line, kind of looking for a pick. Building up the terrain. Looks like it's the face of the Dragon. Sion ulti coming in.
All coming in.
No one, but
Corki gets the Dragon, gets 2 kills so far. This is exactly what red team needed. They needed that fight. There is a 3 for nothing. Yes, they gave up the Dragon. That's the 4th Dragon for the blue team. That's good. Now they have to fight again. They cannot give up another Dragon, but it shows that red team is the stronger team when comboed correctly. The Sion ulti completely missed, but the Orianna ulti hit very well. Yes, the 2 people that are up are probably the strongest for blue team, but this tower is going to go down fairly fast, especially if they want to dive. The Merc going down. Sion just going to walk out of this one. Pretty behind. Lucian chasing this down, forcing everybody back who's low. They don't get a tower, but they do get some gold from the kills, and there's only 1 return kill from the blue team.
Yeah, but that last fight though, the team fighting comp of the red side here, with all the AoE piling in there, even with 2 the Leona ulti and the Sion ulti sort of missing by a lot, they're still able to clean up with just 1 Orianna ult. So we'll see how if we can get it.
DeHaze goes down here. Yes, he gets Sion, but he just stands there and tanks all of the damage that Sion does after he dies. He's not paying any attention, and Corki comes in and gets the kill right at the end.
Yeah, that was definitely a good choice by Red Team, trying to get Corki a little bit more money. Sion's already got pretty much all the tank he needs. Other than getting picked off, he's been tanking in team fights, he's been initiating. They want to throw more money at the Corki, get him more damage going. Corki actually picking up a pink ward. That's fully Vision Lord approved, everyone. Make sure you buy your pink wards at Funko's Bargain Pink Wards. Our sponsor.
And it seems as though Sion's got a working of a Thornmail. That's going to help against the Yasuo and the Lucian a lot. Both auto attack base champions with Lucian the double shot and Yasuo just constantly going to town with his Bork and his static shiv. It's a lot of auto attacks, and it's going to be a lot of returning damage on the carries if they decide to focus him. Especially with how much health he has right now, which is a lot and he's super tanky. But so far the gold is 1k in the favor of HanSoloMid, and that is, it almost is negligible. It's such a close game, kind of even in just about every front. A few CS margin difference, but for the most part, the carries have all the gold in both sides.
Yeah, I would say that gold is actually completely negligible, because it's 4 dragons to 0. The buffs they get from dragon probably outweigh the 1k difference. Griffsor looking to engage, doesn't really get a pick, doesn't get the knock-up, and it would have just been on Nick anyway. They're not going to go in on Sion, but they're trying to make a show of force, waiting until Soraka gets there so that she can just constantly feed them health.
With all else up, we should be looking for another fight here soon. Get some more ARAM action on our side. Just kind of yelling at each other.
Yeah, I feel like they're just looking for a good all-in. DeHaze getting poked down past half health here. This is exactly where but although the Agent Church on the Soraka just can pump him up to full health, it's almost, she's almost worth just as much focus if she just stands there and spams abilities and making sure everyone's capped off in health. She's almost as worth just as much as a focus as Lucian, as Yasuo, as Heimerdinger in this fight, just because she's just keeping everybody alive, and that's just such a nuisance when you can't kill the person doing the most damage to you.
Again, a wonderful ARAM being played in this tournament. Everyone gathering mid. Dragon's not up for about 2 minutes, so they're just gonna poke, clear waves, poke, clear waves, be a little bit afraid. It doesn't look like anyone really wants to be the one to initiate, because no one really wants to take a risk. At this point, the game's so close that any errors could throw the match. Both teams pretty close to their inhib. Even if they lost a kill or 2, I don't think that would be enough to give up their inhib. But if they lose the dragon, and we get a 5th dragon here on Hobby Bunny's team, then we could see some serious plays happen with that double buff.
Yeah, I think I'm really surprised that nobody has turned to Baron, because yes, Dragon is such a strong buff, but Baron is also, like, it almost counteracts it, because yes, it makes you really, really strong with Dragon buff, but if you have Baron buff to counteract it, like the minion buff alone, if you just stand there, they have to wave clear so much harder, even though they have that huge buff to get to your towers. It's almost worth trying to take Baron if you know you cannot get that Dragon. A TP top 30 seconds before Dragon is up.
That's risky.
That's a very risky teleport, especially because he didn't walk up there. He can't teleport into fight. I think they're gonna have to give this Dragon up if Red Team seizes the moment and pushes their way in and forces the Dragon really fast.
Yeah, fun fact, legend holds that pink wards are actually made from Baron's tears when it dies. My uncle Vinny once fought Dragon with his left hand alone, and wrung it dry, and that's how pink wards came to be.
Sounds like a little bullshit to me. But either way,
I like that story.
yeah, if that's true,
Oh,
if that's
that's
true,
going
that's good. Yasuo getting a lot of poke, but Heimerdinger, they zone him out. Oh, there's a
that's
pause coming
unfortunate.
through. We'll have to see what's what the cause of that is. The game will resume shortly.
We could see a flash cataclysm here on that Oriana, and she might be dead.
That is true. That huge crit from Hobby Bunny taking Birnovic down to half or just above half health. This could be a pick. This could be a pick that they need. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I don't know if they've created any rules for pauses for the communication point, but they could decide right here if that's what they want to do. If they're allowed to talk. I'm not sure if they've decided or not on those rules, but
Yeah, I think just because it can't be regulated, we assume everyone can talk during this. But in this case, the pick from Hoppy Bunny, it's probably going to be enough damage to take down Barn. They might be able to follow through, but Corki is a little ways off because of the lag. So I don't think it would really change much in terms of communication. They may get a little bit of time to think this over, but if their jungler goes down, we're going to see a 5th dragon.
3, 2, 1. Let's see what happens.
and they're starting.
Oh, got
The
flash out
ulti
the
is
way.
burned and he flashes over, but Sion misses, completely whiffs his ultimate. The Oriana ball comes in. It's so far a 1 for nothing, a 2 for 1 so far, nearly going
Sion
down.
comes. Oh, big ulti.
Big ulti from Oriana.
We got the shout.
That's a triple kill from Corki. That is a
Here.
4 for 2. That was a great. Birnovic started that fight by almost getting caught and almost dying, but saves it at the end with an amazing ulti. They should peel off, take Dragon while everyone is dead, prevent blue team from getting that 5th, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go for it right now. They'll be able to take it, unless Lucian can get a magical steal, which I don't think he's going for it. He's coming for it. I don't know. It'll be gone way too fast. He's got no chance. That saves the game. That's their first dragon, which is good because that is 6% AD and ability power that helps them. 6% more damage that helps them in team fights. Their lead just got a lot bigger because of that team fight. 4K gold, but still, that AP for damage the damage in the fight is going to help them a lot more than the 4K gold that they actually just got.
It looks like instead of being disappointed about the loss of the 5th dragon, blue team recognizes that it'll pop up again, and they're actually starting to hang around the Baron area. There was a ward in Baron Pit for red team for a little while. Can't actually see it on the minimap. There is still a pink ward in Baron Pit for red, so they feel relatively safe trying to play ARAM in mid lane. But it looks like Hobby Bunny, Mudman, Agent Church.
Oh my goodness! The Muck lands a great stun combo while they're trying to take the tower, and Oriana just blows up Heimerdinger. That was a great opportunity taken, and yes, they give up a tower, but they get a kill, and they'll be able to, I think they're going to be able to take Baron off this. It's pretty much free. Blue team has to go clear bot. They're giving it up. That is a Baron for Team HanSoloMid, and I don't know. It's pink. I don't think TeamAllIn even knows about this. This is a free Baron. Great pick provided. It's way too late. They have no idea. The Merc going in here, but the Oriana, everything stopped. Sion ulti coming in, hits the wall, misses. They're trying to get some picks. They'd be wise to just back off, buy, and ready to siege up. That was a great opportunity cost play.
This could be the turnaround we talked about. Obviously, this is anyone's game at this point. There's 5K difference again. The gold lead has consistently been for red team, but that 5th dragon is still just looming overhead. That dragon could be the turnaround. In the last game, we saw Baron buffs be taken. We saw that be a major player. We also learned that if teams aren't using the Baron buff, it's not really that useful. And if we look at the map right now, sure, number 1 Nick is kind of chilling around mid, kind of sort of pushing the minions. Looks like they're trying to maybe group bot and push that, but I don't think they're actually going to take anything off of Baron buff.
I think the thing about Baron is that it doesn't give you any fighting stats. It only gives you like minion wave pushing stats. It buffs your minions and allows you to siege potential. If blue team is just a very small amount, it's like it's not like nearly as much as like it used to be. So the fact that blue team could still fight this and win a fight and take this Baron threat completely away if they want to, instead of just sitting and trying to wave clear the huge minion wave that is going to be so tanky that they might not necessarily be able to do.
Sign is telling those turrets to get out of here.
Yeah. They're a little extended. He's trying to put one back by the tower. But it doesn't really matter. Against Baron buff minions, the Heimer turrets aren't going to do that much. However, this is a good point to note that they do have the AD mid laner and the Lucian clear, both of which are phenomenal at having solid wave clear that isn't magic damage. And that's one thing you really need to have against Baron buff minions.
One thing that they don't really have is the range to take down that huge cannon siege minion in the back that just sits and shoots from beyond tower range. They don't really have that, but right now they're making advantage of their Baron buff like they should, and Rank Tank is splitting top. They're just applying pressure with their minions, backing off if they're going to push engage, and Rank Tank's going to take a free tower for this. J4 is bot, not counteracting this. Yasuo's going top. I think they're going to spread him thin enough that they might be able to take a tower or two here.
Blade coming out, there's the fight.
The Yasuo gets the almost takes down everyone else here. They're looking for a fight. The Muck going really deep, a great ulti. No really follow up, just kind of pokes everyone down. Yasuo soloed out Rank Tank there. He tried to put on his fancy feet, but just couldn't do it. Never popped zonies in the last fight either, where that is also a thing that Rank Tank had but didn't use. Drag is in a minute.
Red team has vision. They know that Obby, Bunny, and crew are heading on over to Dragon. Obviously, they probably suspected as much, considering it's the 5th Dragon they could get. So this is going to have to be something that they go for. I'm pretty sure blue team is willing to risk their other lanes. The wave is pushing a little bit in top, but it looks like they have vision control. They took Scuttle, and they might be able to rush this down fast enough if they can get it done before Science can get down there.
I don't know if Red Team's gonna be able to contest this. It is up in 5 seconds, and Cyan's not even close. I don't know if he has TP. He does have TP up. He might be able to TP in. They're pushing him out. It looks like a baited bush. DeHaze goes in, tries to get a crit, or tries to blow someone up. Doesn't really get that opportunity. The heals from Nilly are going in, but the Zoni is coming in. Ult misses. Nilly jumps away, out of position. Orianna also, she's gonna go down. This fight is, unless they can. Dragon is still live. There's a lot of cleanup. 3 for nothing so far. The picks are just going out. That's the 5th dragon That's a huge buff. Yes, Lucy goes down, but he's gonna respawn with that buff in a minute. The flashes from everyone. Yasuo goes way deep, goes down. He's not even gonna get the Corki. The Ignite will expire. Hayes, so much greed. Now it's a 3v really 1 right now. Well, Corki's back in Fountain. They're gonna be able to get this tower. I don't know about Inhib, but that was a poorly executed fight for Team HanSoloMid.
Yeah, one thing to note is that Lucian actually ended up chasing so deep away from his team that he just got picked out. He was in poor position. He didn't have a front line to protect him, and he actually used his dash to engage to get a little bit of cleanup, and then he took the full Scion knockup and the Corki cleanup with the Triforce. So
if we see that kind of thing happening in those fights, really is anyone game. If Beardly has gotten caught out instead, they wouldn't have had the damage to follow through and kind of sort of clean up. But as we saw, it really comes down to that Yasuo crit. Twice, he almost blew up those APCs. He almost nuked Nidalee, and then the Hourglass. He almost nuked Orianna, and then the Hourglass. If I were that man, I would never want to see an Hourglass.
Yeah, and with Baron up in 30 seconds, that's going to be the next fight, and I don't think HanSoloMid can even contest because of the 5th Dragon. It's such a huge buff for combat stats, and everybody who died respawns with it. So it's just such a huge buff. And on top of that, the game is getting really long and the death timers are getting huge. Little 1 or 2 deaths can determine this game.
Yeah, we'll see if this 5th dragon buff, I think it's up for a little bit longer. We'll see if that's just enough for them to force the Baron and then try pushing again.
There's about a quarter left on that buff, maybe a little less. So I think it might be down by the time this Baron fight comes up. We'll see.
Yeah, really.
Logan looking force it here.
Something early.
Oh, 3-man ulti.
Gets a great ulti engage. So far, a 3 for nothing. That Orianna ulti just saved them the game. Yasuo wasn't in that fight. He's coming from behind. I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything. He's just going to start backing. He can't 1v5. Lucian almost got poked out, and they caught that at the perfect time, forced that fight. They need Sion or someone to start tanking this. They're just going to stand here, and then Lucian and... Yep, there we go. We got the tank coming in. The Muck getting blown up by Yasuo, gets 2 huge crits right away. They're going to go for Baron. They're going to try and force that down. I think that Lucian and Yasuo should be able to contest at least a little bit or apply pressure. I don't know if they'll be able to steal it if they even try.
Nidalee does do these very fast with her missing HP Q damage here, so it's going to be burned down. Looks like those up 2 are going to shove down mid and try to go for the inhibitor.
But with the Baron buff fast recall, they're just gonna be able to back and defend. They won't. Blue team isn't gonna be able to get anything out of this. That was a second Baron buff secured by HanSoloMid. That was a good pick team fight. Beardly landed a perfect ulti to start that fight.
Yeah, even though this Orianna struggled a little bit early on in the laning phase, really has been showing great patience with his ultis and really capitalizing on pretty much each and every one of them.
And that shows a good Orianna player right there. If you can hold your trigger finger to land an ultimate at the right time, influencing the team fight in your favor instead of just blowing it on one person trying to blow them up, or whiffing it entirely because you're so trigger happy. That was such a well-played, patient Orianna player, and that's a lot of willpower to be able to do that.
Yes, the ultimate will either win you the game or lose you the game. One or the other.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to point out,
DeHaze getting blown up by Beardly, trying to get a pick. That right there, 73-second death timers. This game is so long, at almost rounding up about to 50 minutes, at 49 minutes here. Everybody's level 18. That's a long period. They have Baron buff. That's a lot of sieging time where he's just gone. That's going to let Nidalee just take a free tower top. And mid, it's going to be a 4v4 pushing down. That is a great opportunity. If Beardly can do some zoning with his ball and not get some poke down, they might be able to take one of these towers.
Yeah, one of the main problems we see here with Blue Team is that all their money is really in that Yasuo, and he got picked out. That was huge. It's one thing to lose a carry, but it's another thing entirely to lose the carry that has 10 out of your 16 kills. He has almost all of their gold and damage. Heimer barely scratching his enemies this game. His farm's mediocre, but he has no kills, so they can pretty much ignore him and just build armor.
Yeah, I'm going to say the greed is very real. Getting that inhibitor line broken, this inhib is going down. Well, Yasuo is still down for another 5 seconds. They're going to be able to rotate top They're gonna be able to rotate top. Everybody's gonna be able to get over the wall and get out, take no damage from the tower or very little. They're gonna continue their siege top. This time though, it's a 5v5, and they gotta pick their fight wisely because if Yasuo gets a good ultimate, that could sway the game as well.
Oh, going in.
The Muck going in, trying to stun lock Yasuo, gets the stun down, but the Sign ulti on him too. Everything's being focused, but no one's really doing much damage to him. Corki's gonna go down too. That was quite the bad fight, and the only people that was, and Rank Tank is gonna go down as well. Bjornavik might go down as well. He's an ulti for disengage. Not really sure. He's gonna run for his life, run for the hills. Hopefully get out. And Orianna gets the kill too. Wow, what a great play to turn around to save that. A 2 for 3 though. Not the fight that they were looking for. Another dragon up. That is going to be the contention right now. Blue team's going to want that 5th dragon buff again. Yasuo should have taken it right there, but he's pushing mid instead. I don't think he's realized that dragon is up.
Yeah, obviously that Leona is just saving Orianna's life, turning around, making that sacrificial play. Just says, don't worry, I'll save
Flash play from Hayes. He's trying to burst down Orianna. But instead, you, the real MVP, Yasuo gets blown up because of the Leona ulti, exhaust, stun. Orianna gets a chance to come back in and kill Hayes. Leona is creating a lot of great plays right now, and everybody's back up, and they're gonna give up this inhib. The Sign ulti completely misses, but I think Agent Church is gonna go down in this one. Oh, he's so fast.
Flash rocket.
But the flash rocket gets him. Hobby Bunny's still being chased down.
I think red team should go back and just take this dragon off the map right here.
Yeah, the dragon should be taken off the map.
Yeah, blue team decided to go for the inhib.
Leona pushing her along.
Leona is really deep right now. They're looking to end the game. Yasuo's down for another 30 seconds. They don't really have enough damage. Everybody's up for this team. I think they're just going to go for the end. They're going to try and close out this game. They've got super minions. Yes, they have to wave clear super minions, but it's 2 people that are really negligible. And Lucian, if they can focus Lucian, they might be able to win this.
Also, it's a Lich Bane Italy, so she's doing a good amount of damage to these towers as well.
Yasuo up is up in 3 seconds though. Yasuo is up, everybody's poked down. Yasuo's in, he's got GA this time. He's gonna be doing a ton of damage.
Leona is all sorts of tanky.
CC on Yasuo, but it's not enough. They instead decide, we're just gonna disengage. We don't want to risk this fight. We're a little low. Let's back out, maybe try for this dragon.
It's gonna be a 5 for 5. They're gonna try and sneak this dragon on their way out. Burn it down really fast. Blue team closing in. I don't know if they're going to be willing to leave their base for it though. Dragon's going to go down really fast. Red team's going to secure this. They're all going to back and defend. A 53-minute game. Death timers are insanely high right now. Another team fight should decide the game.
Sign pulling out the Guardian Angel, so I have to kill him even another time before he even goes down.
Yeah, at this point, actually, I prefer to build Zrot Portal on Scion, because he's got 0 damage in this, and that's honestly okay. He is a CC machine, but when you can afford that much armor, he has to have like 300, 400 armor right now. He could simply put down a Zrot Portal, and they could sit there and just wait them out.
The thing is, the Zrot Portal is really good for someone who's split pushing and knows what he's doing while pushing. Sign is sticking with the team and peeling for his AD carry, who is 13-3 right now. I don't know where Old Beardly came up with that score, but he is rolling in the dough right now. He's throwing stacks. He's got money to spare. He's got tons of damage, and Sign is just feeling for him. Yeah, he's got the highest goal in the game. He's really stepped up right now. Still getting out farm, but he's got a ton of kills. He's blowing people up. and I think that Scion is better off with the team with his GA to peel than instead of having a Zerat portal split pushing. Baron is live. Nobody's thought about peeling in to go get it. Yeah, inhib is no longer up for or down for blue team, but it is still down for red team, so the minions are pushing against them. That is still something that they need to wave clear.
But you have fed Corki. You're just going to shred those waves and sit there poking with Nidalee spears, set up some traps. Looks like we're playing ARAM in the bot lane.
Pretty much what it is. They're just looking for a good opportunity to engage.
Maybe Arab, all random, all bot.
Arab, that's true.
We're going Arab.
The Corki rockets and the Nidalee spears are quite the poke and anti-siege and siege. Oriana's got a GA now too, so she can't just get blown up. And the elixir, she is gonna do a lot of damage. Everyone pretty much maxing out at full builds. They're just waiting for this game to collapse.
Smart defensive itemization by red team here.
Yeah, and they're the fake back by blue team. They're still gonna push down the lane. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get this. Heimer isn't there. They're gonna get this tower. They might be able to force down inhib. Not really sure. They should pick a fight here, but they're gonna get out cleanly. They got an inhib and got out. That fake back definitely was a well played.
Yeah, this could be the moment in which they cinch the game. They have the bot inhib, and that means they can easily rotate to Baron. Red team having to split their attention between the two locations. Heimer went ahead to clear out top, set up a little bit of vision. But again, Dragon will be up again. And they have to choose, do they want to try for the 5th Dragon, or do they want to go for Baron? Baron would probably be the better choice for pushing, but against a team with so much defensive stats, they have the Hourglasses, they have the Guardian Angels, they may want that 5th Dragon most.
Yeah, I think Baron is going to be the target here. I don't know if they have noticed. No one has swept the pit and know that it's warded, and that someone should, because if they just sit here and try to bait it out, they know that they're not on it. There it is. The sweeper comes through. Now they can either bait it or start it and sneak it. And no, the blue team has to face check this. They have to, or risk Baron being taken. Yes, they could wait it out and call the bluff and hope that bot lane just pushes. They're picking it right now.
Yeah, red team needs to make a move here before that gets their turrets.
I think blue team's just calling the buff. They're not going for it. Corki is gonna back off and go wave clear, which could cost them this Baron.
Oh, he decided to stay, canceled it.
Nidalee is backdooring, taking mid lane. Nobody has realized that. She's sneaking mid lane. I don't think anyone's realized. Blue team starts to back. Lucian's coming.
Going to Cougar.
She's gonna be the great escape is real. This could cause Baron. The flash, yes. Oh, Zonia's rank take's gonna go down.
That's too late. Oh, this is a major
that's too late,
blunder by red team here.
and minions are taking base.
Right there, they sent 3 resources down there. I think right there, and as soon as they saw that, they should have rushed the Baron and maybe gotten back in time, but instead missing out on all of it.
And that's going to be a free Baron for blue team.
Yeah, they could actually pick up the Baron and the Dragon. The Dragon being up in one.
The magical Leona steal. The prayers, the hope.
Get it! Oh,
oh, so close.
good slow though, good slow.
Blows him down. That's going to be middle inhib. That might actually be game. Rank take is still down for another 38 seconds. That's a long time. This could be game, ladies and gentlemen. The prayers are with you.
Yeah, like I said, team with more skins, they get the wins. This was obviously a very close match, but with
not over yet.
Dragons, they can go ahead
There is going to be a bit of a struggle though. Saya going in, throwing down a lot of CC on Hobby Bunny. He is spreading.
Oh, suicide.
Yasuo dies, but that's the game.
GG, ladies and gentlemen. Clocking in
At almost exactly an hour, 59:44. Very, very long match out of a best of 3. Let us know what you think the best play of the match was at hashtag Noah's a God.
All right. Well, TeamAllIn is gonna take home the victory in this 1v3. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with us. Have a great game. Have a great day.
2015.
GG.
Peace out.